Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just thought this we'll start the build up for the big game. It's early morning. I hope you guys, if you're watching this ahead of the game or through the night, I hope you got some coffee or some substance of some sort to keep you busy. Of course, huge game at Eden Park. The Springboks are the All Blacks, the showdown, the one we've all been waiting for. So this is a massive one. So this is our Springbok build up. What we're doing is what we do. We put together some of the press conferences and those sort of things and build up, so it gives you a flavor of what happened in the week. And after that, we head into the game. So now we're doing it. It's going quite quickly. It's coming very closely to the game. It's the most anticipated game of the year. The All Blacks have, of course, a 50-game unbeaten record stretching back to 1994 at Eden Park. The Springboks have last won there in 1937. It's Ardie Savea's 100th game. The Springboks have a 4-game winning streak over the All Blacks. Both teams are vulnerable because both teams have lost in the last couple of weeks in the first 2 rounds of the Rugby Championship, so it's a lot to play for. Massive game, but let's kick off with the first press conferences from the All Blacks this week, looking ahead to the game.
Thanks, cheers, Juliet. Firstly, just a wee shout out to the Black Ferns making into the finals, and 50 the best from Porsche. How good. Awesome to see that. Also, squad update. Obviously, Timothy, Jim the bus has broken his radius. He's got an operation today. He's going to be out for 12 weeks. So we've brought in Lester Whanganuku into the squad. He arrived last night. Any other questions on top of that? Thank you.
Razor, bit of an injury crisis, isn't there? Squad depth being tested?
Yeah, there is, especially in the halfbacks. Xavier Rose obviously come in. He's a trusted pair of hands, got a good boot on him as well, so he'll come in as cover. But every team goes through injuries. We just got in one spot, one position, and it's contact sport, so things are going to happen.
How's the group kind of regrouped after that loss to Argentina?
Officially owned it. We had a good session, realised the standard that we need to get to, and we've just got to get better, acknowledge it, and then focus on this week. So use what we learned from the week before. It hurt a lot, and so look, our focus has gone to this week and exciting week against the Boks.
Scott, you haven't ruled Cortez out, but he's got a rib fracture, so he must be extremely doubtful, right?
Yeah, he's going to go to the wire on that, so we're going to give him every opportunity. It's pretty important. He's obviously played sore after the game, the last 10 minutes in that game, but he's tough. It's one great thing about Cortez, we'll give him every opportunity to play.
You've got 2 uncapped guys, I guess your next cabs off the rank, and Kyle and Xavier's obviously come in. If they had to play either or both, are you confident that they could kind of step up to that level?
Well, that's why they're here. Mark. I think it's important. That's why we brought Kyle in, and he's done his time. Get an opportunity. You got to back him.
Rose, did you have to get any sort of board approval or anything like that to get Lester into the squad?
Well, first he got the eligibility rules. The first thing is he was here for pre-season for Tasman, played all the games, and then he asked for the board if he's ticked the eligibility, and they said yes, it's good to go.
How impressed have you been with what you've seen from him, I suppose, coming back from a couple of years in France and into Tasman?
Yeah, he's a great power athlete, isn't he? And holds his feet beautifully, tracks defenders, and he's played really well. We're really pleased that he's come straight back into the fold and performed at the highest level.
Do you see him being an option straight away this week, or do you look to those original squad members in the first instance?
Everyone's eligible to get picked. That's why they're here. So the good thing about with Lester, he can play multiple positions. So
what do you see him more as these days? More of a midfielder that can play wing, or the other way around?
Probably that way, yeah. I think he's played a lot more centre over there, but he's a hell of a winger as well. He played a lot of 12 as well, so he's covered a few different positions, and the experience over there certainly improved his game in some areas.
How ready is Kyle for Test Rugby if he plays this week? Preston?
Kyle, look, we're really impressed with him around the finals footy. he's always stepped up to every occasion that he's had and opportunity he's had. And the next one could be on the biggest stage. So we've got him ready over the last 3 to 4 weeks to be ready for it. So we'll back him.
And what have you made
If
of
needed.
Finn's performances when he's played in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Finn is experienced. We know what we're going to get with him. He's reliable, he's tough, some good turnovers. He likes that stage. He's good that he's played a bit and straight back into our system, yeah.
Scott, there's a lot of talk about the form of both teams coming into this test, but given the magnitude and given everything around this test, how important is form in a game like this? Is it irrelevant?
Yeah, I think it's on the night, eh? Yeah. Probably, like you're saying, no one was out and out at the best on their game, and that probably just adds to the occasion. Look, we've had some parts of our game that have been awesome, and then some parts that we have to get better at, and it just hasn't quite all come together, and it's a good week to get it to make it happen.
And for you as a coach, does this feel like the most significant week of your tenure so far?
Yeah, I think this press conference sort of covers that off for sure. One plays two in the world, all eyes are watching. It's pretty exciting for us as a country. We've got a record that we are really proud of, and we'll play for.
And can you give us a sense of why Eden Park is so special? It's an extraordinary record. We all acknowledge that.
Yeah.
What makes it that special place?
The deeds that have been shown on it. The amount of honour and the respect that's been shown each time you run out there, and then obviously that's just added to that legacy, and every team's got a role and an opportunity to add to it, and ours is this week.
And what have the BOK shown you in the first 2 rounds that's different to what you saw last year?
They'll chance their hand and then go back to their DNA. So it's coming. We know it's coming, and that's all part of it. That's all part of the game. Rugby's a game of strengths, and they've got theirs, and we've got ours. 2 different styles. We'll play, and we'll back our skills, and they back their skills as well, which is a strength and got them a lot of trophies.
What have you made of them trying to find the fit between a particular game of rugby and the one that actually worked for them?
It's a fine line, isn't it? Because they played some great footy, and there was a moment in a test match, a couple of bounces and momentum went the other way. So, look, either way, they've got the skill set to do it, and what do you want to back and believe in? And that's the thing about them. We expect anything. They're a very innovative group. So, what comes along on the weekend, you got to prepare for what's in front of you.
And just on the record,
Sorry.
just on the record, in particular, how big of a talk has it been within the teams in the team setup regarding the Eden Park?
Eden Park.
Yeah, how often are you guys talking about it?
We talk about it with a lot of care. We understand the figures, the history, the facts, and the occasion, and that creates enough edge in itself. Human bodies gets prepared by how the mind thinks, and that occasion, and half of New Zealand are coming to it. It's pretty amazing. Every time we talk to someone, they feel like you're tuning up. So you can't go anywhere here, and realise the magnitude of it. So we're well aware of all what's in front of us.
Razor, how much pressure are you feeling this week?
Well, there's always pressure. It's part of the job, the role and the responsibility. There's a lot of power in that pressure. There's a lot of focus that can come from it. So that's our attention on a performance now. That's my job as a head coach to make sure we get it all lined up so perform on Saturday.
What would hurt more, losing at Eden Park or losing at Division?
We'll focus on the job in front. Thank you.
Scott, you just want to go back to the biggest test of your coaching career. Are you nervous about this week? And so how do you actually deal with all of that's coming as well?
human. So your mind goes, there's a bit of future thinking that goes on, and where it could be and what happened, but then also, your job's to be right here. So I've drawn on my experience as coaching over the years, and what's really important, what wins games, how can we, my job is to set this team up to perform on Saturday night, so that's it, but you always take up a deep breath and realise the stakes there in hand and get on with it, step forward.
I don't want to bring the cloak of doom onto it, but a lot of past All Blacks, I'm quoting people like Sean Fitzpatrick, Zinzan Brooklyn, spoke about a fear of losing, and that being that as a motivation. Does that come into your way of thinking at all? You've been obviously a great past player as well as being a coach of the All Blacks. That fear of losing?
Yeah, that's natural, because the history and the stats show that, and there's a lot of power and fear as well. Get your body ready, for survival, and it's the most human thing you can do. We're here to protect something. So, of course, there's a little bit of fear element, and that's part of being human.
Just preparing for the South Africans, how much of a team selection game plan in that is affected by the different challenge that they actually bring, as opposed to the last couple of games that you've coached?
Yeah, you look at their strengths and you think where they're going to go. We know that, and what's the way for us to take that as an opportunity? Where's our skill set? What's required from our players? How do we set them up during the week? So there's a little bit of, pick for the match, pick for the opposition, but also keep a bit of cohesion.
And finally, when you talk about this pressure and walking towards it, there won't be a single person that you bump into in Auckland over the next few days that doesn't talk about this game. Do you welcome that, or do you have to spend time away from all of that? How's the best way to deal with that for you?
Well, there's a swimming pool over there, so I'll just do a few extra
there,
links. I love it. I enjoy that. I enjoy that, the connection piece. That's part of the job. When you got Kiwis talking about this test match and how much it means to it, fills you. So you embrace it. I'm not walking the streets, put it that way, but definitely not. But I, you embrace those little moments, and the connection piece reaffirms how important this team is and this game is.
Scott, you got Sir Wayne Smith coming in
this
week. What are you hoping to get from him this week, personally for yourself and for the team?
Yeah, Sir Wayne has been locked away in the calendar for all year. This is the one as all of us have noted, and he's good. He's just got so much wisdom, 30 odd years in the business, at the top level, and just little bits of gold really, and he's thought about this and remember this, and when I was here and we did this, and so those are the great things that you hear from someone that, like an old Koro, that knows his way around Test footy.
He used to wear the old turtle shell at training, help with the high ball stuff. Are you going to out there?
No, I think he's retired from that. He's retired from that side of it, but no, he's great to have here, and the boys, we all respect him.
And how much extra high ball work do you do? Do you do any extra work, or what did you see in that last Pumas game that you can work on with the high ball?
We'll modify and correct technique and make sure we keep being brave, keep going for it, and back ourselves. So we'll get the balance of the week of the reps.
Scott, there's a lot of people talking about the form of your wings.
Yeah.
As a coach and as a selector, how do you balance, I guess, faith and bodies of work going back to with current form and what you've seen the last few tests? I mean, how will you balance that this week as you figure out how to, I guess, improve your play?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Your loyalty is a big part of me and who I am, and your faith and trust in people, but we just got to perform, doesn't matter what position it is and who you are. So that's a general, for all of us, team first, we talk about it, Team Black, and your performance is a key. So it's the balance of the two. But I'm well aware of, everyone's form, and there's always conversations to make sure people are kept accountable, and their job is to perform, and just like me.
Was Caleb just not quite right? You didn't think for this week to be available?
We wanted to give him a couple of games to get him his rhythm and time. He hasn't played much rugby. So, one we felt 2 games was going to be enough for him before we brought him back in to give himself some contact and opportunities to to play himself into some good form.
Do you need to send,
Last couple of questions.
do you need to send reminders out about discipline this week, or is it sort of well known already after that second test in Ardie?
Yeah, now fair question. I think the first thing is you've got to acknowledge that yellow card or not a yellow card, it's a yellow card. It's an interpretation of it, and we acknowledge that our individual self-control is critical, and it can swing test matches, and we're all got to be better there.
Razor, did you watch the game last night, and did anyone particularly? Yeah, Finlay, how's the team kind of regrouped this week after disappointment in Argentina?
Yeah, we started off by getting a week off last week and refreshing, filling the tank, and yeah, we've come in, energy's high, and I guess we all know the challenge ahead, so sort of moved on from Ardie, and it's all about South Africa now.
What kind of South African side do you expect to come up against?
A very good one, that's for sure. It's obviously going to be a big occasion, and we know they're going to be up for it, so like I said, we've sort of moved on. We've reviewed the Ardie test, and it's all about South Africa now, so we're into it.
Obviously injuries are no good to any team, but do you see this as an opportunity for you to kind of make a statement for yourself?
Could be, yeah. Yeah, we've obviously got a few injuries, and I'm not sure of the team yet, but we're all ready to play.
How much do you benefit from the time out of the squad? Do you think Finlay to get away, play some NPC footy, and then come back in feeling a little bit refreshed? Did it actually benefit you at all, kind of being out of the squad?
Benefited the body, I think. It was a bit beaten up after Super Rugby, so yeah, looked at the positives, got a few weeks off, focused on the body and the rehab, and fortunate enough to be back in. And
on the second test in Ardie, you know, rushed in after 20 odd minutes. Is that do you like that extended game time, a little bit unknown, just kind of take the ball by the horns in a way and see what you can do? Do you sort of relish in that, thrive in that sort of environment? Yeah, just it goes to show you've got to be ready for anything. We talk about it every week that no matter your number, or even if you're not in the squad, you've got to be ready to play. And our mindset around it is everyone prepares to play. So obviously Tez had a wee injury and I got chucked in there, but I was ready for that, and that's what we try and get ready for in the week. You've played plenty on Eden Park. What does that record mean to this team? And in a way, you know, given it's been so long, does it weigh on this team at all? I think in camp, whenever you're playing the Springboks, you don't really need any extra motivation, but it's obviously there if you want to look for it. But for us, it's about going out and focusing on tests, winning that, trying to keep our vision on that.
Finlay, as a playing group, when you're playing the Springboks, do these weeks feel different? Do you feel that you can find an extra 5 or 10% in preparation, in training, as you work towards Saturday?
I think it naturally, yeah, when you're playing the best, and like I said before, rivalries like this just naturally brings that edge up. So, like I said, we don't need to look for extra motivation. It's obviously going to be a massive game, so the boys are up for it. And 5 de Klerk has been a bit of an ever-present in recent seasons, and this season Grant Williams has started more than anyone else at 9 for the Boks. Very different players. What do you make of them and the differences that they bring to the game plan? Yeah, they're both great players. Faf's obviously got a lot of experience, very gritty player, and Grant's obviously electric, running game, and very fast. So they both add their own things, and for us it's about focusing on how we can sort of play our game. And have you noticed an evolution in the attack? Certainly starting last year, post-Rugby World Cup, and the Boks doing different things, being a little bit more unpredictable? I think definitely, yeah. They've, I guess, expanded that attack a wee bit, and not afraid to throw the ball wide, in simple terms. So, yeah, playing some good footy.
What do you need to prepare for the most when you play the Springboks?
Myself?
The All Blacks.
It's like I said, it's a big test match. It's test match footy, so for each individual, it's about nailing your job, doing the simple things well. If we can do that as a team, it'll go a long way.
For you personally, did you think you'd be standing here in the most talked about position in the All Blacks maybe a month ago?
Definitely not, no. Thought it'd be down in Nelson, focusing there, but it's the way footy goes. It's awesome.
Great, easy.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
How are you?
Not too bad.
How's the body?
Pretty good, I think, yeah. Not sure about the lungs, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Tyrell, what do you see as a kind of key area of work-ons this week ahead of the match?
Discipline, definitely. Yeah, it sort of hurt us the last game, but that'll be big this weekend as well because we know how well the Boks use their set piece and like to kick threes as well, so discipline.
Obviously, Eden Park record on the line. What does this kind of mean to you, and does it add a little bit of extra pressure?
It's definitely a bit of excitement. Yeah, like I said, I've played a number of tests there the last few years, and I wouldn't think it'd add too much more pressure. It's just more excitement. It's about us going out and defending that record. Yeah.
What's it like for you when you're not featuring in a test like that in Buenos Aires, but you're an All Black, you're part of this group, you're coming back into it. What's it sort of like coming into the group when they're fresh off a disappointing result like that?
Yeah, I sort of came in and we had a pretty honest review around how we played and some of the things we didn't get right. And yeah, I guess for me, I wasn't in Argentina, so I came in with a little bit more excitement, ready to sort of attack the week and look forward to this weekend.
Can that be a good thing for the group when you've got someone, like you say, you weren't in Argentina, you've kind of come in with a fresh excitement off your own injury struggles just to, I don't know, if anything, lift the group up a little bit?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Obviously as a team we've got a lot that we want to work on this week, and yeah, I'm just, like I said, me as an individual, I'm just looking forward to getting my head back in the scrum and being in this environment.
There's no greater challenge at set piece in the box at scrum time, is there?
No, definitely not. Like I said, they pretty obvious with how they play, how they want to play the game. So it'll be a big challenge for me as a front rower if we get a chance to play. Definitely.
Just on the set piece, and I know you obviously didn't play in that game, but in the reviews of that loss to the Pumas, was the fact that the All Blacks were reduced by the cards, did that play a part in the sort of reduced effectiveness of the set piece at the end, the amount of extra work that was getting done on defence?
Yeah. Yep, I think we had to make a lot more tackles, definitely with 3 yellow cards during that game. So yeah, it definitely catches up towards the back end of the game.
And given that a couple of those yellows were pretty unlucky, for a deliberate knockdown rule, like, how do you address that? Like, what needs to be done in training to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I guess our week starts at training, so getting those pitches right at training. You say hard done by, or I guess the ref seen it differently, so we just got to be better in that space.
What are the particular challenges of the Springbok scrum, and perhaps you could give us a few words on Ox and Che, who's sort of grown into this starting loose head position and has been pretty destructive there?
Yeah, I've scrummed against him a lot the last few years. He's a powerful man, they're a powerful scrum, so we're just going to have to get that right through the week. And yeah, it's a big part of their game, so it'll be a big challenge.
But in response to a question that involved pressure, you used the term excitement. Is that what it is? Is a Springbok test match week for you as a group that little bit more exciting because of everything around it?
Yeah, they've set the standard when it comes to scrums and lineouts over the last few years, so as a forward pack and as a front rower, you're excited by that challenge. It's a big part of their game.
Tyrell, I mean, the Boks on Saturday will be the Boks' sixth test match at Eden Park since '94. Clearly, it's a rare occasion here. How do you guys as players process that kind of excitement, the fact that that game at Eden Park is such a rarity?
Yeah, I guess all the history that's gone, I guess, before us. Like I said, we don't know how many tests it is, but it's a lot that we haven't, or that we've won there over the last few years. So just going out and defending that. And yeah, obviously coming off a pretty disappointing game in Argentina, we just want to right those wrongs, and no better test to do it than against the Boks at Eden Park.
With the fact that all the teams have won a game each in the Rugby Championship, what does it say about the competitive nature of the tournament this year?
Yeah, it's probably the most competitive it's been for a long time, the Rugby Championship. So I guess just how important each game is. So these next two will be, I guess, our most important, obviously, going against the Boks. And just, yeah, I guess it's exciting from a spectator's point of view, which is what I've been the last couple of weeks. And yeah.
When did you actually do the hand fracture? How did you do it?
Yeah, I just was in the last French test. Just went in to make a tackle quite early on and hit my thumb on one of the French players' knees, and just sort of knew pretty much straight away that it had sort of fractured.
Regardless of the opposition, does the fact that you're playing at Eden Park just lift you to another level? It seems to be the case. Does it bring a sense of confidence to the group?
Yeah, I guess that's our home as All Blacks. Like I said, a lot of history's gone into that stadium, a lot of games before us, so definitely exciting to sort of go out and defend that title.
Right, we'll wrap up there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
The Boks obviously came on. Rossi came on the first one with Ardie Savea, had a chat there as well. Quite an interesting press conference as well. So we're going to go straight into that one. Rossi and Ardie on the beginning of the week talking about the lead up to the Eden Park test.
Vamos kyk of hy nou werk. Recording. Can we go for the income? Ek weet nie. Okay, is van, ek gaan net hierdie doen. Miskien, okay. Nou?
Can you hear us now? Ja. Hy klink baie beter nou, ja.
What's up there? François?
Dat is ook net 'n vraag vir Ardie. Jy het redelike baie rugby die jaar saam met Jordie Barrett gespeel by Leinster. Net wat jy dink was.
Ekskuus François, sprong net geweer.
Ja, ek sê jy en Jordie Barrett redelik baie rugby saam gespeel by Leinster die jaar. Net wat jy van hom dink as 'n speler, as 'n spanmaat, en net wat jy uitsien om nou teen hom te speel kom hierdie naweek in die Rugby Championship.
Ja, ons het 'n lekker seisoen gehad by Leinster saam en het was lekker om hom bietjie te leer ken van die veld af. Hy's 'n great rugby speler en hy het obviously baie vir ons beteken hierdie jaar by Leinster, net soos wat hy jy weet vir die All Blacks beteken. So sien uit om hom bietjie weer van die ander kant van die veld af te sien hierdie naweek.
Ja.
Thanks, Ina. Dankie, Rassie. Dankie, Ardie. Rassie, ek gaan jou nou maar in Engels vra. What is the big difference for you in the build-up to this Rugby Champs and last year's Rugby Champs? And what would be the big advantage for you?
I think the build-up, you mean the All Black game specifically, or the whole Rugby Championship?
Yes.
The All Black game. No, the All Black game, obviously now, we all only has one game, all four teams. So I guess it's pretty open. And yeah, last year we obviously it wasn't the same. And we're playing New Zealand away from home. I mean that's obviously a massive challenge. Would have loved to win the first two games against Australia, but we only achieved it in one. and we're currently third on the table. So I guess all 4 teams, I guess Australia's tail is a little bit up, and Argentina obviously feel good about themselves because they're really playing well. But yeah, I think us in New Zealand, none of us are really hitting our straps currently. They had a loss and we had 1 loss. And yeah, we are big rivals. We've been coming a long time that we've been really close the last couple of years, even so in the World Cup final. So for us, yeah, history is obviously a big thing, and there's a big thing made about the whole Eden Park and so on. So for us, no, it's a nervous week. We are confident that we can do well, but I guess in New Zealand will be with the pressure that I can see that people put on them currently. We're experiencing very much the same. So I guess it's 2 teams that have a hell of a lot of respect for each other, but then also internally, I think both teams believe they can win the match.
It's a quick follow-up. Does it give it a bit of a World Cup feel that you're on tour and the team is together for more than a week? It's not just a one-off test.
Yeah, well, it's more like a tour. I mean, we've been together for 11 weeks now, I think, even before the incoming series and the Barbarians game and so on. So we've been in camp for a really long time, and most of the time we're anyway, together either in Johannesburg or Cape Town or wherever we were based. So yeah, we can't really say that this tour will make it a little bit different. We're just away from our South African supporters, which we love to be in front of. So, there's a couple of supporters here, but no, us being together this 2 weeks away from home, the only difference is there's less South African supporters here. So, no, it's I've been touring here since 1994 in New Zealand as a player, and it's never easy here. And yeah, I as a player, I never think I won as a player here. We've drawn one and once 1 year since I've been involved in the coaching team. So now for us, it's always tough and nerve-wracking and a tough week. And I guess it's the same for New Zealand. So yeah, being together and being here for a couple of days more, yeah, we've been together for 11, 12 weeks. So there's not any difference in that.
Dankie.
Daar word baie gemaak, ek het van die onderwonde rekords by Ardie Park en by die Springbokke laas in 1937 in Auckland gewen het. Daar's uiteraard baie emosie en baie daar gesê word, waar jy daaroor of waar jy daarteen dat dit nie te groot ding word in die opbou nie.
Ja, kyk, dit is obviously daar word baie gesê daaroor. Maar ek dink soos coach Rasna gesê het, dis nog steeds altyd taaf om hier te kom toer en hier te kom speel, maar ek sal waar hou speel nie. Maar ja, die feit dat dit 'n groot ding gemaak word van dit die naweek, omdat ons so lanklaas hier gewen het. Ek dink sit net nog 'n bietjie meer druk eintlik, maar op al 2 kante. En ja, selfs as mens as jy nou praat met van die ouens wat nou al 'n bietjie langer hier speel en goed, van die ouens het nog net 1 of 2 keer hier gespeel. So ek dink is 'n ongelooflike geleentheid om 'n kans te kry om hier te wees en jy weet die ding 'n kans te kry om die ding te gaan doen. So ja.
Percy?
Thank you so much, Zina. Good day, Rassi. Good day, RG. Zina, I'm going to try my hand at English, please. Rassi, can I just ask you a question? Do you perhaps know why the coach have decided to name the team on Thursday and not possibly on a Monday or a Tuesday? And why has the coach or the selectors decided to invite Faf? Because a layman like myself would have thought that you would have gone for like. Bongi Wanambi is not there. I would have thought you would have invited a hooker perhaps also to the squad.
Are you saying why the coach? It's me. Percy, no, Percy. The first thing is Bongi. We didn't replace Bongi with Faf. Krappie's Morra actually has a bit of a niggle, which is looking good, and we just got Faf in for precautionary on that, so he wasn't Bongi wasn't subbed by Faf. Bongi's got there's some illness in his family, and so he'll join us as quickly as he can. If we get through this game without the injury, At hooker, of course, what's his name? Jan Hendrik can also cover for us at hooker, and we've got Marnus, and we've got obviously Malcolm. So Jan Hendrik obviously also cover one for us as well. So we just wanted to make sure if we get in, if Mornay's niggle was a little bit more serious than we thought it was. So no, we could have toured with only 35 guys, 34 guys, but we came with 36, but we didn't have a fourth scrum half. So no, it wasn't a like for like. And then why we announced the team now, well, we're not quite sure what New Zealand will put out there, and the honest answer there is, we think we'll have a little bit more of a benefit by only naming it on Thursday when they are naming it, just because it's a little bit of an unknown. Most of the other teams we could have more or less guessed or had a good guesstimate what the team will look like. And yeah, we see that this game is such a big game that maybe the best thing for also New Zealand not to be able to analyze us that much. That's the honest answer to that's why we're announcing it only on Thursday.
Carl? Carly.
Carly?
Hallo Rassie, dit is Ardie, is Carly van Marula Media hier. Hoop dit gaan goed daar by julle. Ja, ons was baie bly toe ons hoor dat Faf daar by julle aangesluit het. Bietjie vroeër as wat julle gehoop het. Is hy bly om terug te wees? Is julle gelukkig om hom terug te hê?
Ja, ekskuus, ek het nog die hele tyd in Engels geantwoord.
Ja, ekskuus, ek weet Zina het gesê eerste 15 minute Afrikaans, weet jy, is ek nou nie seker nie.
Nee, ek moes in Afrikaans geantwoord, jammer. Nee, Faf hy kom vanaand by ons eers aan. Ek het hom nog nie gesien nie, so hy gaan vanaand by ons aansluit. Ja, is lekker om Faf te hê, hy's 'n lekker ervare speler. Ag wat ek dink is 'n ou open eerlik moet wees. Weet ons sien Faf en Kobus as die twee ouer hande wat vir ons altyd miskien games kan bietjie uitklous aan die einde van 'n game en ons sien Krappies en Grant en ouens soos Jaden en so aan vir die toekoms vorentoe wat miskien weet langer in die mix gaan wees. So ja, dis lekker om 'n ervare ou soos hom hier te kry. Ons gaan hom seker vanaand sien. Ek dink hy land vanaand. En soos ek vroeër gesê het, is net om seker te maak met Krappies wat so 'n bietjie van 'n enkel gehad het, maar hy het voluit geoefen vandag, waar ons geen kanse waag nie. En net om die Bongie ding ook te antwoord in Afrikaans. Ja, Bongie het maar net 'n bietjie siekte in die familie. So Bongie sal ons by ons aansluit so gou as wat hy kan.
As net laaste vraag, as jy nie gemaklik daar is nie, is dit ook okay. As jy Natie wat moontlik saam met julle kon toer, maar het jy eerder besluit om hom nie te kies vir die toer nie?
Ja, nee, ek ken om dit te antwoord. Obviously sal ek kan ek nie in die detail weet. Dis nie 'n saak wat ons beheer oor het nie, maar ons kan hom definitief saamgebring het op toer, maar ek dink as 'n mens ek en hy het 'n lekker lang gesprek gehad, en as 'n mens na die emosionele en die persoonlike kant van die ding kyk, dink ek is as Natie op hierdie toer was, sal daar definitief baie vrae gevra word vir hom en om 'n toets te speel. En om gereed te wees vir 'n toetswedstryd, moet jou fokus 100% op 'n wedstryd wees, en ek dink met weet so 'n situasie wat hy heidaglik moet hanteer en seker maak hy kry sy kant van die saak. Obviously is dit baie emosionele dinge wat deur ou se kop gaan, en ja, ongelukkig dink ek sou dit nie vir hom die beste gewees om saam met ons te toer nie. En hy het 'n goeie gesprek gehad daaroor. Ek dink dit vat baie van ou se energie en ou se positiewe mindset om reg in 'n toets in te gaan. So ja, ek en hy het 'n gesprek gehad daaroor, en ons het geweet ons kon hom saamvat op toer, maar ek dink dit sou baie onregverdig teenoor hom gewees het om hom onder sulke druk te plaas en dan nog van hom te verwag om te gaan speel as jy soveel goeters het om te hanteer.
Okay, dit's reg. Baie dankie.
The Springbok women made history by making it to the quarterfinals last night.
Yeah.
How much does their achievements inspire you guys to go and make history at Eden Park on Saturday?
Yeah, first of all, no, I actually got up 3 o'clock last night to watch it. It was awesome to watch, and congratulations to everybody in that environment. Also SA Rugby for what they're doing well. Springbok women, and first time we've reached the quarterfinals. I know it's probably going to be New Zealand or France now in the quarterfinals, so that's pretty tough. But yeah, so first of all, congratulations, and it does inspire us. For us here at Eden Park, it will make New Zealand as desperate as we are. We are really desperate. We don't win here often, and not even to mention Eden Park. I mean, I don't think any of us were born when South Africa lost 1 year. So for us, it is a motivational thing, but it will motivate New Zealand even more and make them more desperate. So I think it's two teams that's really. I think you'll see some guys who really puts everything out there from both teams.
Coach, is this the biggest game the Springboks have played since the World Cup final?
Yeah, I think if I say that, Australia will say, "Yeah, we beat you guys 2 weeks ago." Now you say this is our biggest game. There's a big rivalry between us and New Zealand, and a healthy one. Since I can remember, since I watched when we weren't allowed to play international rugby. The New Zealand games were the big ones that we all watched when we were small boys, and then 1995 was obviously big. So yeah, I played in World Cup final 1999, final third and fourth place playoff against them. So no, there's a big history, and we've got tremendous respect for them. So to say it's the biggest game will be a slap in the face of some of the other teams who beaten us. I mean, Argentina beat us last year proper. Ireland has beaten us since. But yes, there is a specialness between us and New Zealand, and yeah, it is a big game.
Nathan?
Thank you very much, Zina. Rassie, Ardie, good day. In New Zealand, the All Blacks are obviously missing a few key players. I mean, have you been scouting, or have you been looking at how they'll be looking to or which team they'll be bringing out this weekend, considering they're missing a few key players who played in the NPC last weekend?
Yeah, it's a tough one for us. That's why I was honest in saying that's why we're only announcing our team was on Thursday. I know they're a team that's thorough and analyze and profile players and teams a lot. And we're very unsure on what team they will put out. We're really not sure. I guess one can look at the injury list and think they might be in some trouble. But I mean, we've got Kirtley out. Edwell out, and I don't want to mention a bunch of Asanati is not here. There's quite a lot of players of us that are also not available. So I think there will be a little bit of an unknown in both teams going into this match. And I guess by only announcing it on Thursday, it's a little bit more evened out, that we all have to do a little bit of extra work and guessing a little bit. I know Antonina Brown played this weekend. There's a couple of guys that played this weekend, and Caleb, I thought he might be in the mix, but I listened to Razor's comments in the press conference. Doesn't sound like he'll be in the mix, so it's a bit of a guess. But whatever team they put out there, we'll know it will be one hell of a good and a desperate team.
Last online question. What's it? Ella. What's on? Sorry, guys. Elite athlete?
That's me, Zina, Adnan. I don't even remember from the last time. Thanks, Zina, and Rassie and Ardie. Rassie, I think the question was asked, but this game has been touted as the biggest game since the World Cup. And so you've answered that to a certain extent, but with all respect to the other teams that you played against. But do you agree with that statement? And also, how much has the dynamics changed since the World Cup with regards to the composition of the team and where you are at now?
The composition of the New Zealand team or our team?
Both sides.
Yeah, well, I think first thing in the World Cup final, that's a must win. And now we're more or less in the same position. I think if either of us want to win the rugby championships, these next two games are pretty vital. So I guess it's more or less the same as in the World Cup final. I don't think we must forget that they did get a red card in the World Cup final, which made it a little bit easier for us to play against 14 men. I know we also had 2 yellow cards, but It will be at home, away in New Zealand, and it's not on neutral ground. So no, it's for us it's a massive game. It's also a great honor to play against them here, and currently those number 1 and 2 teams in the world, and I guess I know it's just world ranking wise. It's not to say we are number 1 and 2 in the world. It's currently with world rankings. But no, that's why I think it's a nervy week for both teams. There's pressure in both camps. Some people will say we are struggling to find a bit of rhythm. Internally, we think we're getting there. They just came from a loss. So both of us is 1 from 2 in the last 2 matches. So no, it's a massive game. But it's difficult to say it's the biggest game still, the World Cup final. Of course, we've lost a few. So, but a massive game, massive game.
Thanks,
Thank you very
guys.
much,
Good luck.
guys. That wraps up the online section. So I'm going to stop recording and we will continue with the news conference on this side.
Just going into some of the content that the Springboks released. This was their gym and recovery session, and then there was an update from Tony Brown from Auckland as well when they got into Auckland. Just I know it was before Russie's press conference, but this it's interesting to see as well. And then we went into some other All Black press conferences as well.
Tony, back in New Zealand, how's the team settled in, and has the work started before the first game?
Yeah, well, the team's travelled well. Obviously, the first couple of days are all about recovery and just starting to get our plans together to get ready to take on the All Blacks. So, good first couple of days.
Always a big challenge at Eden Park, and then also in New Zealand in general. What is the vibe like in the camp?
Just excitement, really. Obviously, Eden Park records on the line. It's an amazing opportunity for us to go there and take on the challenge that's always going to be a tough All Blacks team.
And then All Blacks have, or all the teams in the competition have won one game so far, so competition's still wide open. How important are these games going to be in your campaign?
Every test is important. The rugby championships always going to come down to 1 or 2 games, so hopefully we can win the key ones and make a push in New Zealand, and then hopefully go back to South Africa with some points on the board.
Number 1 and 2 teams in the world up against one another. What are you expecting from this challenge?
I think it's probably the biggest game since the Rugby World Cup final, so players are excited. All Blacks are going to be desperate to win. Springboks are going to be desperate to win, so it should make for an amazing game.
And then what do the Boks have to do you think, to keep alive their chances of breaking their hoodoo at Eden Park?
No, it's just make sure we prepare well, get excited about the challenge, and making sure we, put our best foot forward when we get onto the field and play as hard as we can to win the game.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tony.
Twitter.
Wallace, nice to meet you, brother.
Get the important people. The others don't matter.
Nah.
No, quite.
Home in North Harbour?
Yeah, it's been a while, but it's good to be here, yeah, for sure.
Wallace, how did the body come through? How did the body come through that first hit out last week?
Yeah, pretty sore, mate. First game in a while, and obviously with the loss as well, sort of complex everything, and then got the long travel too back home. So yeah, it was pretty sore. It took a few days to get back into, I guess, a bit of movement, and feeling better now.
From a forward pack perspective, what have the kind of reflections of that fortnight in Argentina been, and where do you need to be at your best against a pack like the Boks?
Yeah, but I think we're a bit disappointed with the way we performed that second game, especially coming off a strong win on that first game. So physically we didn't front up there, which is probably a point to the chest for us. I think it's to the chest for us, and that's sort of what we're looking forward to getting to into our week and hopefully building into the weekend.
How much do you personally relish the kind of confrontation of and the challenge of going up against the Boks pack?
Oh, look, the Springboks are a quality side, defending champions for a reason, been at the top of their game for a long time now, and it's a huge opportunity for us, something that we walk towards, but then again we still got a few more days, so we'll build into that as well.
Wallace, just growing up, what does playing South Africa mean to you? I'm an old man, and so I kind of grew up with this is our greatest ever rivalry. What does it feel like for you?
Oh, it's special. Hopefully we get the chance for this weekend, and growing up you watch the All Blacks and the Springboks play. I watched Manu Samoa with my father as well play Springboks as well, and it's always a special occasion. So to go up against a quality side like the Springboks, it's always a pleasure, and it's a great challenge, like I was mentioning.
Here in Fanland and Media Land, we're calling this the Heavyweight Championship of the World of Rugby. What do you guys talk about in your off times about preparing for a game like this?
Oh, look, it's like you said, it's a big match, no doubt about it. Us as players, we talk about these big moments, and it's what we work for, what we dream of, and we still got a few days, so we'll build into it.
How different is the intensity or pressure in camp this week?
Oh, there's always a bit of pressure and intensity in camp, whether we're playing the Springboks or not. We always respect who our opponent is, but look, it's a big match. I think everyone knows that, and training has been intense. Today was really intense, so we'll build that intensity throughout the week.
Did you have a debrief yesterday of the Argentina?
Yeah, we had a review yesterday.
How was that?
It was good. Some conversations that we needed to have, and we'll reflect on what we need to work on.
Wallace, what's it like having Wayne Smith around the camp?
Oh man, he's a legend in his own right. Someone that's been there, and someone that's gone through these moments and these times. So we really lean on him as well, and little gold nuggets that he's throwing around is something special and something that we'll take very seriously.
Is there anything you've learned from him specifically yourself?
Yeah, well, just the ability to get all the content in, and then throughout the back end of the week, just go out there and play.
Wallace, you started against South Africa in Cape Town last year. What did you learn about the Boks from that experience?
Yep, it's big boys. Big boys love the confrontation, love the set piece. They're a quality side for a reason, and if we're not on our game, we're not going to put in a good fight. So one thing I learned is you got to make sure you win all the moments. Little mistakes that will cost you. So yeah.
Wallace, 31 years since the All Blacks have lost at Eden Park. How kind of important is maintaining that winning record to you?
For myself, very important. Eden Park has been a home for All Blacks New Zealand rugby, something that we take seriously, and like I said, we still got a few more days, still got the rest of the week, and we'll build into that for this weekend.
Now, I know you weren't born when the All Blacks last lost to France in 1994. Do you kind of have any memories or know anything about that game? You kind of aware of it?
Actually, I'm not. No. It's been a while.
What about Ardie's 100th? Some extra motivation to put on top of that. What does he mean to you?
Yeah, 100%. Look, he's been a mentor for me in my short time in the All Blacks. Not only myself, but a lot of people that's in the squad currently and boys that have gone before us. So he's a special human being, a special member of our squad. He leads our forward pack. So yeah, look, it's a big occasion in its own right, big occasion for Ardie and his family, and like I said, we'll build into the week.
In 99 games, he probably hasn't played a bad one. Would you agree?
Oh, all 99 of the best, eh?
Is he someone you watched growing up?
100%. He sort of revolutionised the loose forward position. I think we saw that firsthand this year as well. So somebody I model my game by bits of it, and also somebody to take inspiration from.
Is there a specific piece of advice Ardie's given you that's stuck with you?
Oh, his favourite term, just have a jam. That's what footy is, you know, that's what we play. That's why, because like Chester here, that's why, you know, we love watching footy. So as much as there's pressure at the end of the day, it's just going out there having a jam with the boys, you know, living the dream.
Have you got some questions? Yeah. What is it about Adele that gets you so hyped up before the game?
Adele, yep. If you don't know, my favourite song is Hometown Glory before every game, and I don't know, something about her voice, something about the way she, I guess, sings her songs and just really gets you in the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your favourite song by Adele?
Hometown Glory is up there. I also love Turning Tables.
Same, I actually know.
Oh, really?
I play that on the piano.
Oh, nice. You're going to teach me that then?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Wallace. Good luck,
Thanks,
mate.
guys. Cheers.
Got Chester as your wee man if you're getting questions from this week. You're allowed to
Thank you.
Good to go.
Scott, is there a bit of different intensity about this week, I suppose, given the last result, but also what's to come on Saturday?
Yeah, well, the occasion's a good one to look forward to. So yeah, there's intensity there. It's a massive opportunity for us this week. The world champions at home at Eden Park, so we really are looking forward to the challenge.
Is it a good challenge to have off the back of a performance that you know was below where you wanted it to be, to have to step into the world champions, Eden Park record on the line, all of that kind of stuff? Is this kind of a very timely challenge for the group in a way?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. I think it's exactly the challenge the team needs to know where we're at. So, and that's the way we've approached it. That's what's in front of us. Obviously where we've been, but where we are this week is massive opportunity, and we've spoken about this is the game we need.
Scott looked like Kyle Preston was having a bit of treatment before on his ankle, maybe. Is he alright?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I didn't see that. Maybe your eyes are seeing things I'm not, so that's you're right on.
What was taken out of yesterday's debrief?
Yeah, ownership, preparation, and opportunity. So the players should have left with that.
Was it obvious issues in the aerial game and discipline? But I suppose if you focus too much on one or two areas, others lack. So how much of a balancing act is preparation?
Yeah, you show the opportunity to be better. Sometimes it's not a good day, so you can look at it around that also. Just didn't win one or two. If we had, we could have probably, in many regards, controlled the game differently. So we looked at the opportunity to be better. We continue to grow that skill set, and we'll need to be better for sure. South Africa will be looking at that. What are they about? They're direct, they're physical, and they go to the air. So we know what's coming.
Scott, you actually picked the team on Thursday, but you know how many of those names are in place right now? I mean, I can't imagine that you wait right till Thursday to actually pick the team.
Yeah, that's right. The boys will know the team around the combinations that earlier in the week. It's announced on a Thursday, but we've got preparation before that as a group.
So you have your team in mind right now?
For sure.
Coach, a lot of talk about box kicking, especially for this game. It's a kind of highly criticised part of the game at the moment. Could you just explain to us why teams do it, when you do it, and what you're hoping to get out of it, just so people can probably understand what they're going to see on Saturday night?
Fundamentally, it's around reshaping the defence. So it's about moving the point of attack and going to the air, and where the game's at around the ruling is, the ruling's actually encouraging us to go there, because escorts and the like are now have to get out of the way. So teams are seeing that as a massive opportunity to apply pressure differently. So When you're attacking, there's the chance to move the ball to a new opportunity around the aerial game. And if you look at the rules, as I've just said, it's actually being encouraged now.
So it's more of a plan A rather than a plan B?
It's a plan. It's a plan. You've always got a game plan and you're planning, and every international team needs the ability to go to the year, dictate terms on a kick to regain. You can destructure a defence there also. It's test match footy around understanding where you can control the air and what it gives you to also from those opportunities from it.
Scott, what's the purpose of Wayne Smith's attendance at training today?
Smithy's been with us this week. It was always planned this year for Smithy to be with us. He's a mentor to the group. Razor and I have coached with Smithy for a long time, and having him around, talking about the All Black legacy and the history is good for the group. The boys love having him in, but it was always the plan to have Smithy in this week.
Scott, just with the nature of the occasion, and I guess all eyes been on this fixture, there's potential danger of being conservative going into the shell maybe, but how important is it that you play with confidence, you play back your skills and still take the game to the box and not be sucked in, I guess, to the way that they play?
Yeah, I think it's the understanding of fighting styles, and as we've just discussed, they're direct, they're very physical, and they go to the air. Our fighting style is different. We want to manipulate differently, so it's how we can control and adjust during the test. The All Blacks are at their best when we're adjusting during it, and our attack has been decisive, and we're earning opportunities through our defence. So we have to be courageous, we have to be fearless, and we need to play like the All Blacks.
Do you see opportunities in the way they defend with their rush defence, and maybe how the Wallabies exploited some things in South Africa recently?
Yeah, I think so, and every team looking at South Africa will see there's opportunities where they're world class, and as they look like they're there, then all of a sudden they're not. So it's again how we adjust to it. We've got our planning and prep around opportunities we feel that'll be there, but also understanding the adjustments that we feel they will make also.
Scott, you got a couple of young halfbacks that may or may not be required that haven't played any Test rugby. What's your message to them this week?
Pass the ball well, kick the ball well, and be you. I don't think it's cluttering the young nines. I think it's just giving them the frame, the confidence in who they are and why they're here. They've got a massive opportunity in the environment, and we know they'll take the ownership when the opportunity is there for them to play.
Cortez was training today?
Cortez was training. He's still under injury cloud. We're still keeping our eyes close on him around the injury, and he's a brave young man. He's possibly running around looking pretty happy, but we know he's pretty sore, so we're keeping an eye on him.
They've delayed naming their team until after you guys on Thursday night. What do you make?
Now we'll just go about our business. I understand what they've done with naming teams early. We'll do what we do, they do what they do.
Last question from Chester.
Aside from Razor, who is the best dancer?
That's a great question. I haven't even thought about that one before. The best dancer would be Sevu Reece when he's happy, scoring tries. Also, in our team meetings, he'll often get up and give us a little dance. Positive, engaged young man who really backs himself on the dance floor.
Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Cheers, guy. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see
Thanks,
you.
Juliet.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll probably see you all on Thursday.
Yep.
Yep.
You're overseeing my time.
Please. In the corner.
Still sleeping like that.
All right. No questions from back up? Ah, there
Hi,
we
Gina,
go.
can you let me work? Yeah.
Jan, Percy, Leighton, and Morgan.
Jason, can you hear me clearly?
Can hear you.
Okay. Morning, Jason. I know we all know about the history between South Africa and New Zealand. We know about the Eden Park history. What makes this game and the All Blacks playing against the All Blacks special for you as a person, as a player?
Yeah, for me personally, out of my experience, every opportunity you get to play against New Zealand, and as you mentioned, the history behind it, it's massive, and I can probably reflect on each and every other player. It's the same. You're playing against the #1 team currently at the moment, and that's where you wanna come up against and measure yourself as an individual and as a team, where you're at, and if you're still on par. So yeah, definitely excited, and I haven't played at Eden Park before, but I've heard a lot of great talks and memories that's been here. So yeah, super excited if that opportunity does come this coming weekend.
Percy?
Goeiemôre meneer, good morning Zina, thank you so much. Marco, kan ek vir jou vra net 'n vraag in Afrikaans? Jou kollega het pas genoem dat jy speel teen nommer 1 span in die wêreld. Is dit net nog 'n rugbywedstryd of is dit regtig waar 'n groot wedstryd vir julle? Of hanteer julle dit net asof dit net nog 'n toets rugby is, 'n toetswedstryd is?
Ek dink vir ons enige toets is 'n groot wedstryd. En ons beplan elke toets is verskillend, se voorbereiding is verskillend want elke span teen wie ons speel is nie dieselfde nie. Maar ja, dit is 'n groot okasie en ek dink ons berei tot die beste wat ons kan voor vir dit. Maar ek dink ja, soos enige toets, enige game wat jy speel in 'n Springbok try is 'n groot toets. Maar ja, hierdie is spesiaal en is op 'n spesiale plek ook.
Peter?
Dankie Zee. Hi Chizzy, hi Marco. Marco, net vir jou asseblief, wat was die chats met ouens soos Eben en Sia wat die laaste keer daar was in 2013 as ek reg is, wat is die chats met hulle net rondom daar speel en wat julle as manne wat die eerste keer daar speel kan verwag?
Ja, dit is verseker vir hulle 'n groot stadium om te speel en enige raad, enige vorige experience wat hulle gehad het en wat hulle kan oordra aan ons, waardeer ons en ons vat dit en ons gebruik dit tot ons beste van ons vermoë. So ja, ons kan definitief baie ervaring wat hulle het om daar te speel, definitief tot ons voordeel gebruik en ja, probeer soveel leer van mekaar as ons kan.
Morgan?
Thanks, Z. Morning, Cheslin. I hope you guys are well. How's it, Marco? Cheslin, you guys have now got a good record against the All Blacks of late, but it has been a while since you have played there in New Zealand. Is this for you guys just a matter of hitting the reset button, not focusing on what's happened in the past, and just focusing on these two tests coming up now, because there will be permutations late, going towards the 2027 World Cup regarding these tests?
Yeah, and I think you basically answered the question by asking the question. I think the past is a past. You can't do anything on that. You just need to stay in what's currently happening. And for us, as I said earlier, it's quite simple. Whoever gets the opportunity to wear that green and gold jersey needs to make sure that they grab the opportunity and just go out there and express themselves as well. Enjoy the occasion. But yeah, what happened in the past it's in the past. There's a lot that can change within a season, and we've learned a lot up until now. And that's just how we see this game, is to keep improving and developing personally and as a group. And yeah, just stay focused on every task that's at hand.
Thanks, guys.
Groot weke soos hierdie vir jou ekstra waardering. Ek weet ons het gesels nadat jy uit Engeland teruggekeer het en na tyd so 'n bietjie twyfel oor jou loopbaan was, jy gesê ou besef vinnig so iets daai voorreg van 'n ou kan weggevat word. Gee groot weke soos hierdie vir jou ekstra waardering daarop sig.
Ja, ek dink enige week waar mens betrokke is met 'n Springbok game, of jy speel of nie, ek dink is 'n voorreg. Daar's baie wat enigiets sal gee om in daai posisie te wees. So en ja, dit gee mense baie waardering vir dit. Maar soos ek sê, ek dink enige week in 'n Springbok kamp, ek dink is 'n spesiale week en 'n spesiale tyd en wat 'n groot voorreg. So.
Percy, do you have another question?
Thank you so much, Zina. Cheslin Kobe, is 'n voorreg om jou te praat, meneer. Cheslin, kan ek jou vinnig vir jou vra? Jy het al baie bereik in jou lewe nou wat rugby aanbetref, meneer. Kan ek vir jou vra? Jy het ook nou so pas genoem in Engels, jy het nog nie in Auckland gespeel nie, meneer. Hoe groot van 'n voorreg is dit vir jou om in Auckland te speel, meneer? En soos ek vir jou kollega gevra het, is dit net nog 'n toets vir Cheslin Kobe teen die All Blacks, meneer?
Percy, dankie. Ja, soos ek gesê het, as daai geleentheid kom en ek is genoem in die groep vir Saterdag, gaan dit 'n ongelooflike geleentheid wees en ervaring ook. Maar vir my, ek is simpel, ek fokus net wat voor my is en ek vat hom veral vir hierdie week dag vir dag en elke oefensessie wat ons het en net goeie confidence vat na die naweek toe. So ja, as ek in 'n groep is vir die naweek, sien ek regtig uit daarna.
The next guys are coming in soon, so ask if you want to ask. Happy? Awesome. Dankie julle.
Thank you, dankie.
Baie dankie.
Guys, we'll be bringing in the other two players now.
So part of the press conferences that's not being recorded yet is for the guys who are obviously paid to be over there, the journos, and so they get that exclusive content because they are in New Zealand and you can't blame them for that. But because it's later in the week, I've got some of my friend Jamie Wall over there in New Zealand has sent over some of the unseen press conference. So this was Rossi and Ardie, the stuff that didn't come out on YouTube during the week. So this is exclusive and it's quite nice, and thanks Jamie for that.
Rosie, you've been coming here, was it 30 odd years as a player and a coach now?
Yeah.
How much have you always enjoyed coming to New Zealand?
Yeah, I think my first time was in 95 or 4 with the Vrystaat, the Cheetahs, and we played against the Highlanders. In Invercargill, I think, and that was that was Super 10, I think. Yeah, Super 10. So I think we were at one stage not a team that really well in world rugby. There was a time when we didn't do well, and I always used, when we got here, the passion that the New Zealand supporters had for the team and how proud they are of their team was something that really stood out for me. I think we've turned the corner a little bit where we've got the passion in South Africa and people are really behind our team now in a good way. And you can still see now, just with one loss that New Zealand had, I think they 8 out of 10. 8 of the last 10 games they've won, and they've only lost 1 this year. So, and you can feel the pressure that's building on them, and the same with us when we lost to Australia 2 weeks ago. So, no, it's massive, and you can see in the players when we got here, and you can see in the press conferences of New Zealand. So I guess it's something special where maybe if you go to Australia because it's maybe not the first choice sport, or you go to Ireland where there's some other sport that they play, the sport is really personal, it's really intense, and the commentary is really not the commentary of the commentators, but the people, the remarks and the quotes and how people feel, they put it out there. And I think that gets to teams like it gets to us, and it gets to players, and it gets to coaches, and that makes it a really special environment to try and bottle that in the right direction. And it's exactly the same as the first time that I got to New Zealand.
South Africa hasn't played, South Africa hasn't played much at all on Eden Park recently.
Yeah.
Do you think New Zealand rugby's been keeping you guys away from there?
I remember when they took us to places like Albany and Mount Smart, Wellington. Yeah, I remember when we beat them at Wellington, they took us the next year again to Wellington, to maybe rectify that. And I think there was a draw after that. No, look, we all know the record at Eden Park, and I really don't think that can motivate us more. For us to play in New Zealand, number 1 and 2 in the world currently, there isn't really something else that can motivate you more. Eden Park is something. Australia beat us 2 weeks ago at Ellis Park. and it's done and dusted. You know, that record's gone. But now it's over. You know, it's the next match. So I think people make a hell of a hype about that, but internally, you know, you can't get more motivated. You play New Zealand, you play New Zealand. You know.
Andre, have you played there before at Eden Park?
Only Super Rugby.
Honestly, since Sia's here, what's his playing status on Sunday? Is he fit enough to play?
Say again.
Sia, playing status, is he fit enough to play on Saturday?
Sia is. Yeah, there's a couple of guys. That's why we brought 36 on tour.
Yeah.
No, Jasper is only available next week. Sia is touch and go for this week. It's again one of those calls that must be made with a little bit of a longer term. You know, he'll definitely be available next week. And we've kind of only announced the team on Thursday, but at this stage he's bracketed just to make 100% sure we don't. You know, initially we thought it was going to be a 6-8 week injury, and then the scan came back much clearer. So we'll make that call a little bit later in the week. But to be 100% sure, I think next week he'll be probably 100%.
Surely Sia would play on Eden Park in Ardie Savea's 100th test.
No, you can't. You see, it's a long season, and we still hope Sia can play another year or two for us. And you know, bringing him back one game too early, you know, might just bugger up 6-7 weeks and the rest of the year. So it is an emotional decision, and it's one that we haven't quite finalized. So no, it's the heart said play him, but the mind says let's watch till Thursday.
Here you talked a bit about Afrikaans, about Geordie Barrett and playing with him at Leinster. What was that relationship like, and do you keep in touch with him still?
Yeah, it was actually nice to get to know Geordie a little bit off the field as well, you know, and yeah, just to see how he operates on the field a little bit more alongside him than being foes, you know, was also a great experience. And yeah, he's an incredible rugby player. And yeah, it's great to come over to New Zealand and now face him again. And yeah, we do still keep in touch. So we'll see after the weekend. Maybe, I don't know.
According to the experts, the Boks didn't have the physical edge in those tests against the Wallabies. Is it something that the team want to set straight on Saturday against the All Blacks?
Yeah, I think that's obviously always something that we pride ourselves on, and something that we always want to impose ourselves physically in the game. So yeah, if that's the case, if that's what people say, then I guess that's a matter of opinion. But we'll certainly look to still go out there and be as physical as we can.
Rassie, you came here in 2018 and won in Wellington, the first Springboks win in New Zealand for 9 years. Since then, the Springboks have won 2 World Cups. What would you make of how the stature of the All Blacks has changed since 2018?
I think from our point of view, and you know, there's always, as we say, a couple of realities. You know, there's what the All Blacks believe, there's a reality in their camp, and then there's what we believe a reality in our camp, and there's a reality out there which people believe in us. So for us, you know, they're the All Blacks, and they've lost 1 game this year, and they 8 out of 10 out of the last 10 games, and they're number 1 in the world. You know, so they've lost against Argentina in New Zealand before, and it feels almost like people are making this away loss even a worse thing than that happened in New Zealand. And we lost against Argentina last year, you know, and we are 8 out of our last 10 games. So we kind of know what they're going through, and that we've got some, I wouldn't say a soft spot for what they're going through, but we know how tough it is when it's almost your first choice sport. I know we've got football as well, that's pretty big, but we've got 60 million people who you know, I think there's like 15 million avid supporters in South Africa. So, you know, it's your main sport here, and the people are taking it very personal. But we have to stay in the reality that it's a New Zealand team that's only lost once this year, and 8 out of 10 times they won. You know, so no, we know they're right up there.
I think in the professional era, Springboks have only won 4 tests in New Zealand. I think that would probably shock most people if you told them that. You know, is that, you know, is a sore point that, you know, the Springboks probably, you know, should have been able to win more than that over the past 30 years?
No, that's why. I mean, we can throw around a lot of stats here now, which will make sense for a nice article here or a nice quote there. You know, yeah, yeah. I think I've 3 times. You know, once we draw, once we won. No, it's the only time that I've been involved that we won here in the history since I've come here. So for us, it's massive to try and come and win here. You know, so. Yeah, World Cups was great that we've won it, and Lions Series is great, but we haven't been very successful here over the years. You know, so for us, even not the Eden Park thing, just to win in New Zealand is a massive thing.
Is it still the ultimate for you, Andre, to try to beat the All Blacks in New Zealand?
Yes, of course. It's kind of the pinnacle as a Springbok player. You want to play New Zealand, and if you get the opportunity to play New Zealand in New Zealand, it's even more special. It doesn't matter where in New Zealand it is, but yeah, it's certainly a special occasion every time you get the opportunity.
Russ,
Andre.
when you look at the balance of what you've been speaking about regarding building a squad, building depth, where does a test match like this fall under your radar? Is this one of those test matches where you throw out the minimal baby with the bathwater just to win, and it does not disrupt your bigger plans going forward?
Look, when things goes according to momentum and you build, and like I thought we done that over the last 9 games, but then we got the Australian game and we messed that one up, the first one at Loftus, and then we had to bring it back a little bit and say, let's just get back on the horse again and win again. But now to win the rugby championship, we have to win this match. So, you know, and normally we don't experiment too much against New Zealand. We try and put the fittest, in-form, available team out there, and I think this will be the case. You know, I think the most in-form, fittest, available team, because it's a must-win for them and for us now. It's not like we have the luxury of saying we beat them twice. Like last year, we beat them twice, and we could experiment against Argentina. Have we lost last year against New Zealand or Australia, you know, we couldn't have experimented like we did with Argentina away. So, no, we'll pretty much be everybody that's fit and healthy will be on board.
There's quite a lot of opprobrium in South Africa regarding how the Boks played in the first test and how they played in the second test. How are you, as a coach and a coaching staff, balancing the needs to play what is in front of you, but also vis-a-vis make Boks fans happy who week in, week out will be happy with one thing, not be happy with the next, and yet criticize what's working this week and then say, let's go back to what worked?
No, but that's part of it, you know. That's a fan's job, or his fans' right, you know. They support us, and you know, when they feel happy and thing goes well, and then sometimes they say we're happy with an ugly win, and sometimes, you know, even if you win ugly, they say we could have been more expensive, and I mean that's part of sport, you know. People, that's what conversations goes about. That's when 2 teams are compared, and that's what playing styles are compared. And as long as that happens, as long as they don't burn jerseys and say we're giving up on the team, you know, because we've been on that route before. And no, eventually, we really just want to win, you know, and eventually we think that that's what pleases South African fans. So I actually think in that first Australian Test match, you know, we just saw so many opportunities after we were up 22-0 or whatever the score were. And then when we realized all of a sudden, but all these guys are having our number, we just couldn't pull it back. And then the next weekend, I thought it wasn't beautiful, but we managed to get back onto the horse.
Last question over there.
And Coach, just seems to be a lot of talk about how you guys name your team. It's quite interesting for us because the All Blacks just do it at the same time every week. And you were quite open and upfront about how you might change your team in the lead up to that first test, and you did. Do you see one day there being a reality where that's normal, you know, and it's kind of more like football where you'll just sort of name a squad and then head right up until kick-off to tinker with your team, and that's the accepted way of doing things?
Yeah, I think that's why I think people see everything as mind games, you know. So internally the guys know on Sunday evening already who will play and who is bracketed with who. If somebody, I don't know if people will really. You will never be able to lie to a player and say, listen, on Sunday morning, Saturday morning, we're going to change the team. Jean-Luc withdrew on the Saturday morning, and Willie withdrew on the Friday with a hamstring. Now, it will be very tough for a player to say, listen, pretend you're playing, and now you must motivate the guy, and now you must lie around with all the other guys in the team. It doesn't work like that. Definitely sometimes we feel it helps if the speculation within social media and in the media to announce the team, it's out there and the speculation is gone and the players can focus and not listen to what everybody's saying, because people listen to social media and people follow it and newspapers and everything. But then you get to games like this where you feel, and I think the same with Fraser, this game we feel, it might give us a little bit of benefit of them only knowing our team on Thursday. It's what we think is the best for the team, and what might give us a little bit of an edge. It's very seldom that we change the team on purpose on a Saturday morning. I think it happened once. It's not something that we do regularly.
So you wouldn't change your team once you've seen the All Blacks team?
No. The players know who play on Saturday, and there's one or two guys bracketed with a little niggle like a Sia.
But you'd rather keep it to yourself until
until Thursday evening, because it makes it a little bit more difficult to analyse, I think.
Lovely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Then came time for Scott Robertson to name his side. Very interesting team, very experienced team to take on the Springboks. Going to be a huge battle up front at scrum time. And he fielded some questions on his team ahead of the test. So here's Scott Robertson talking about his team announcement. And then we'll go straight into the big man himself, Ardie Savea's 100th test match.
Keep it, everyone as far back as you can so that the scrum is nice and deep. Alright, cameras all ready? Okay, we're good to go. We'll kick off.
Scott, how much of a balancing act in this team, wanting to get some consistency but also make changes up?
Yeah, it's a good question. Exactly how we thought about it was a little bit of cohesion. Guys that have played together, obviously we had their month off after the French game, and then the combination of the 210 teams and back to players on their experience and combinations, and also for the skills that are required for this test match.
Is it also a balancing act this week and maybe peering things back and not wanting to overload?
Yeah, clear the heads, go and play some footy, and obviously it'll be an emotional game and there'll be a lot of physical contact, so stepping forward to that, and a part of that's having a clear mind, so yes, yeah.
Fraser, can you speak to Kyle Preston? How did he take the news when he got announced in the 23?
He's a quiet young man, but he's tough. He was pretty humbled and shook everyone's hand and sort of downloaded it all, and we got him in here for a reason. He probably didn't quite think it was going to come in this game, but look, he does his core roles really, really well, and he'll rise to occasion.
Hindsight's obviously a lovely thing, but would you like to have potentially played him in Argentina, looking back just how this injury to Cortez has all played out?
Well, that's why you just called it hindsight, because that's what it is. Like you could have two fit halfbacks that have played together and had a great combo for this match, and effectively it was an insurance policy, and the policy's valid.
Scott, you've gone for Amoni and the rivalry ahead of Savea. What went into that decision, and what do you want to see from Amoni in a kind of a rare opportunity for him?
His aerial skills, his edge defence, his backfield coverage, just those things that we know that are coming. That's coming. So, great opportunity for him, and gives us good balance in that back three.
Just on Rico, last test match, he had 3 metres on 2 carries and 30 minutes. Not a lot of involvement. What do you want to see from him? And is he kind of playing for a spot as a starter?
Rico's got his opportunity. He's at home. He's spent a lot of time on this field, and he's got a lot of skin in the record, and it's his opportunity on Saturday night to show it.
More involvement? Do you want more involvement?
We want the best out of him.
What was Savu's reaction like to being dropped?
Savu's, obviously those are private conversations, but he's disappointed like anyone. But he knows he's a good team man, understand what he can do for this team to prepare for the test match. So, yeah, the disappointment changed into preparation mode.
Scott, how close was Cortez to being available?
He was, well, he's tough, as you know. We made the call on Monday, so it was pretty clear. You know, it's a nasty little injury here.
We've seen a lot of Ardie Savea in this team over the last sort of decade or so. What's something we don't know about him?
We don't know about Ardie.
Yeah, on this side of it.
She's not prepared for this question. He's a man of few words. It's really important for him, his leadership serving, and he served this jersey over a long period of time with a lot of heart and a lot of skill. So his humility that you see around the team, off the field and stuff is who he is. And a good family man. There was a playground round out the front here for a couple of hours with his kids running around, so he's a great father as well, and we're looking forward to representing him on Saturday night.
Scott, given that the Springboks haven't been at Eden Park since
Yeah.
2013, how much more does that bring to this contest, the fact that the Springboks are where they are on a 4-game winning streak, coming back here for the first time in 12 years, the defence of that record, does it weigh on this team, or is it something that excites you?
Yeah, Matt, good question, because you sort of look back and you look at the stats and there's a story behind it. When they asked me last year, I took over the job, you know, these are the tests, where can you play them? And she's been a long time, let's do it. These are the occasions you have to look forward to as a rugby player, as a team and a country. That's why there's just so much interest in it. And probably the big thing is Saturday night that matters. Those records were made on those nights, on those days, so we're looking forward to the occasion.
In the earlier answer, you referred to the skill set required to win this test match. Can you elaborate a little bit on what skill sets you were looking for, particularly in the back row and the back three?
Mindset, always over skill set, and the skill set that drives it to trust your skills. You know, like obviously back three coverage is really critical. The aerial game, it's critical for us to win the air, and got the reps we needed this week, and the boys looking forward to that, and probably the collisions around the back row, the ability to keep winning them and be technically sound. You know, the skill set of those big bodies that are coming towards us. How do we get them to the ground?
Do you expect to be hit as well?
Yep.
I think the Springbok flankers were even boxed yesterday training.
They were boxed. Okay. Corker's just got a little boxy on him, is he? I'm not sure we covered that. Look, it's coming.
Did you always envisage having Simon Parker play against the Springboks?
We knew he was going to be 6 for us at some stage this year, and you know, with his fitness, the test last week, you know, it's allowed us to put Tupu back to lock. He played extremely well last year against South Africa in that position, and he was excited to put his head between two people, two props.
Scott, on the emotion front, we asked you on Tuesday how you were feeling. How has that changed by doing a motion meter now a couple of days out?
Look, we've been training this afternoon, so you know, you build through the week as a team and as a coach. Look, comes a bit more real, closer to you get. All the planning comes into actually playing. So, as I mentioned, this afternoon's pretty important, and it sort of gets handed over to the players a lot more now. It's in their hands and what they need, and we're there to support them and you coach with your eyes. How can I add over the next couple of days? And that's your role.
What do you want from the New Zealand public that are going to be at that ground? Because if
Yeah.
we were playing in South Africa, it would be a lot of green. There'd be very little black in that
Yeah.
ground, but there's going to be a lot of green in that ground as well. What do you want from the fans?
Just be connected to the game. Just live it with us. It's going to be emotional. Give us support. Give us your voice. Because it's a test match, there's going to be swings in it, and you've got to fight your way out of those moments. That's just part of it. We know that everything comes down pretty close margins, but to stay with us the whole way and then
Do you want to hear
be with
them?
us.
Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, look, whatever the proclasm, whatever chant you want to get going with you, bit of Dave Dobbin, whatever, let's climb into it.
Scott, what's Wayne specifically brought to the team this week? Wayne Smith. Sir Graham Henry popped in, I think, on Tuesday night as well.
Yeah, so Ted came in, and Wayne, there's a few stories of old times, 36 years old, Smithy around this team, so he's got a little bit of history to share. Just little bits of tidbits. Have you thought about this? Have you covered this area? I remember when. You need those stories from Granddad, don't you? So, he's just make sure he's swept them behind.
Scott, this is a chance for Finlay Christie to have a Stephen Donald moment.
A what, sorry?
Finlay Christie to have a Stephen Donald moment going
Oh, a Stephen Donald. Yeah, no, his jersey fits. Yeah, we'd love that. Look, Finn's test. He's a test match footballer, and he's played alongside Bowden, so yeah, he's good to go red.
Scott, the Springboks talk about two debuts, your test debut and your first game against the All Blacks. All of them talk like that. Is that the same in your group, that there's a number of men facing South Africa for the first time? Is it a second debut for them?
Yes and no. We focused a lot on ourselves because we know what's coming for them. Expect unexpected, and also where the ball's going to get returned to you. So yes and no, but we just know the ferocity of the test. That's what we've acknowledged. How the physical contact and games are won and that off that, and the ability to do it over and over again. So getting ready for that part of the game.
How close was Leicester to being considered?
Leicester was always available for selection because he's here. Look, he'll be better for this week. He'll get to understand our calls. He'll come in late Sunday, but he'll be better for the week with us.
Scott, Ardie has many great qualities, and we've
Yeah.
seen them pretty much every time he runs out the field. Is consistency, that hitting that level every week, every
Yeah.
test, is that his finest attribute almost?
Yeah, it's a good way of shaping that. He ability to turn up in any manner, any type of game, ball in his hand or without the ball. So what he achieves, how he anticipates the game, he's one of our greats.
Scott, do you think your players are nervous in any way, and is that okay if they are?
Yeah, their body's getting ready. If they're not nervous, they're not sort of getting ready for the occasion. It's how you deal with the nerves and how do you shape it, and that's part of it. Everyone's got their own tools and their mental ways of enhancing and using those nerves and turn into a performance they're proud of, and yeah, that's part of it.
Fraser, how important is the bench this week? Obviously, just matching, South Africa and that intensity when they come on. What have you asked of your bench players this week?
Yeah, to understand where the game's at, when they're required, when they come on, and the game situation that's in front of them, how they're going to do their job at that moment. We're excited about, it's going to be a good little front row battle, isn't it? Or big front row battle. There's some big boys coming on. It's nice and timely. Terrell's back, and that's exciting part for us. We love to scrum.
And Fabian's moved back to the bench
Yeah.
a lot. What was behind, I guess, that decision for you?
Just the ability to him, he'll finish strong. He's got enough test matches under his belt. Like I said, we wanted to have Tupu in the scrum. He's a very good scrummager. Tupu's one of our best. When the game opens up, well, I don't know if it'll open up, but when he comes on, Fabian, he can use that size.
There's been a lot of chat this week is up there with matching the 2011 World Cup final. Does it feel like there's that level of interest in this game this week?
Yeah, you're all here, aren't you? Ready to go. I think just the general public, the enormity of it, as I mentioned on Tuesday, 1 versus 2 at the Gardens, pretty special occasion and one for the ages. So we'll see you there. Thank you. Cheers.
Stay where you are, I'll roll Ardie.
Next up, we had Ardie Savea, who's of course playing his 100th game. Great servant for All Black Rugby, a real great player as well. One of the greats, and I think the Boks rate him extremely highly. And he spoke about his 100th game. And then we'll do a recap that the All Blacks put out on YouTube just about Ardie's 100th game and just how big it is.
And their two names, Jerry Collins and obviously Rodney. Just the influence that those two men especially had on you in those positions that they played, and you following on from them, and just what this means to playing your 100th test with those guys in the head as well.
Yeah, I guess they're legends of the game, like JC and Rodney, and honour those guys, and I guess being pioneers and paving the pathways for us players to come through, especially us young Pacific players. But the guys that kind of had more influence for me was the guys like Rick DeVito, Jack Lamb, and Faifili Levave. They're the ones that kind of took me under their wing when I first came into the rugby scene and just looked after me. So yeah, so many boys that kind of inspired me, but also just looked after me and made me who I am today.
You're standing here ready to play your 100th test, and I'm sure that this is, you've thought a lot about this over the last few weeks as it's coming up and everything. I mean, is this the culmination of a dream to think that you'd actually reach that amount of test matches?
Yeah, it is. I had a bit of time on the bus today just to sit back and reflect, the journey. For me, I always try and remind myself that every time I put on the black jersey, it's a blessing. And it just happens to be the 100th time this weekend, and it's another huge blessing for me. So, I'm grateful for this team, the coaches, the players, the past players and coaches, just everyone that's been part of this legacy. That's kind of who I represent, and the reason why I play.
When you first started playing for the All Blacks, did you ever think you'd make 100?
Nah, not at all. The thing about this team is, some All Blacks greats always say we're just caretakers, and you never know when your time is up in the jersey. So I guess every time you get named and you hear your name each week, you get butterflies, and you don't want to let the jersey down. So never really thought.
Did it sink in today on the bus?
Yeah, like we're busy in the week, and just try and go about our week and preparation. So, but there are times when I'm sitting in my room, I'm with my wife, and just kind of just reflect and just be grateful.
Family here on Saturday?
Pardon?
Parents?
Yeah, my wife and kids are already up, and mum and dad. Yeah, the bus will be up here, and the people that have been there since the start. So they'll be up here, and it'll be awesome just to be alongside them.
Ardie, a phenomenal achievement regardless of who against and where, but how much more special that it's at Eden Park against South Africa?
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything more as a footy player, I guess. Huge respect to the Springboks, and we hugely respect Eden Park and our home. So to be able to go out there firstly and be named to play against the Springboks in this test match is a great challenge, and something that it's going to be hard and tough, but something for all of us to walk towards.
And it's very obvious on and off the field, the special bond that you have with Sia Kolisi. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, first and foremost, we're just human beings. We're men in this room, we're females in this room, and we're husbands and fathers. she's the same as me and Sia. We're just brothers off the field, but again, you know, we represent two different countries that, you know, want to get the result. So, you know, and that's the special friendship. And I think it's like that with a lot of international teams and players. You know, we go out there and try and beat each other up and try and do what's best for our team. And then, you know, we just share a conversation and just like normal human beings, we put that aside and just connect. Pardon? Is he? I'm not too sure, yeah. Not too sure.
Ardie, we saw you this year with Moana reach within, find something special to motivate you to bring the best out of yourself.
Yep.
Is that something that you do as a matter of course with the All Blacks, that reaching within, playing from the heart, you know, motivating yourself?
Yeah.
Or is that something you will reach for this week particularly?
No, it's there every week. Whether it's Moana or with the All Blacks, my foundation's built on Christ, on the Lord. And that's kind of been my driver every week. So whether that was at Moana, that was it. And even when I'm here every day, I try and just be consistent in my faith and reading my word and trying to be a better human, because I find being better off the field helps me on the field.
What's the best way you can mark the special occasion? What do you need to do to mark it in the way you want to do?
Just prepare like I always prepare, and just embrace the week. Let it fill my cup instead of being a burden, and go out there and represent the jersey well.
Talking to some of the Springboks during the week, they've used the word respect when describing you. What does that mean?
I think for me, respecting someone is someone that's gone before and done things well, and they're about it.
Your 100, Kyle Preston's first, what messages have you, what have you seen to him this week, and what conversations have you guys had?
We shared a moment. Just it's an honour to play on each other's, I guess, debut and my 100th, and haven't really said much. You know, you kind of want to let the boys just prepare their own way, but no, it's a huge honour to share this special day and occasion with KP.
Ardie, you went on the 2013 interview tour as an apprentice. What did that teach you about the All Blacks, 12 years ago now, but what did it teach you about?
I just think, I actually remember going on that tour and Steve just said, just come in and embrace the environment and enjoy the environment and get a feel for it. And that's what it was just to see what that level looked like, and how, some real class players prepare. So, I'm really grateful I got an early glimpse of that. And, even better having Bus there too, so it's pretty special.
Do you have a pre-game ritual or superstition you need to get yourself mentally switched on before a big game?
Yeah, Sapus, it's good to see you. Yes, I always love to have my coffee, early morning coffee. I love to go to the cafe, read my Bible, read my word, just to keep my nerves down, but also be reminded of why I'm playing the game.
Just spoke about impact on you growing up. How much impact did your older brother have, chasing him, competing with him? Must have had a profound impact. I know you're obviously still
Huge impact. Having an older brother that kind of has done this, played for the All Blacks, he kind of paved the pathway for me, whether it was good with us or bad. I was able to learn and navigate my journey through his life. But yeah, I give all credit to him. Being a young fella, looking after myself and my family, I was able to propel myself forward and look after my own. So, I honour him today, right now, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
You spoken about the Samoan and South Pacific players that were your role models. Nowadays you have players like Bola Satiti, Berko Failagi. Let's speak highly of yourself and the impact you have for them. Is that part of your service now, being able to impact themselves and also in their careers and what they're doing?
Yeah, I think that's the calling of being an All Black. And as a leader, I think you play the game, and the more you play, the more you find that impacting others is what fills the heart in the cup. And being a young fellow, having older guys that came up to me and poured time into me, that was really that really helped me and propelled me. So as a leader in the ABs, that's what we all do, is to give back to our young boys and try and help them as much as we can.
And that faith of God that you've spoken about, your Christian beliefs.
Yeah.
You talked about the journey from game 1 to game 100 this weekend. How has that helped you overcome the challenges and stuff that you've gone through?
I think it's helped me because the Lord has taught me that rugby is just a part of my journey. We had the great Sir Michael Jones talk about how being an All Black or playing rugby doesn't define us, and it's not our identity. It's just a part of who we are. So, I think Jesus has really taught me to understand why I play footy, and it's just a blessing and a small part of my life. So, whether we want to go out there and win, if we don't or we do, I keep the same energy and I always give thanks, and it just keeps me grounded.
Thanks,
I love it. Thank you.
What gives you the most joy about being an All Black?
I think I'm just addicted to the pressure. I'm addicted to running out, bro, and hearing the noise.
Oh, brilliant!
That's why we play the game, It's to feel the crowd, it's to hear the crowd, it's to play the game, it's to win.
Looks like his Hurricanes teammate might be on for a very special debut. Not a good night for one Savea, could it be for the other? Ardie Savea is on, test debut for him, famous night.
I run out every game, bro, and I just look and I'm just like, damn. Can't believe running onto a polo ground in Miramar to a packed Ellis Park.
Gets it away, Perenara. But Ardie Savea, he'll be too quick. And that's a popular try.
Oh, and that's some try.
To be an All Black, man, shucks.
George. Oh, it's overthrown to Ardie Savea. New Zealand are on the board.
Pass goes wide to Savea. He's in. What a brilliant try by the All Blacks. Oh, what are we witnessing here?
Loves a little kick for Ardie Savea.
I thought he was fine.
And here's Savea on the charge. He's got Jordan with him. Delivers the pass. Will Jordan scores his inevitable try.
Oh, stand up, New Zealand, if you're looking for the All Blacks to explode.
Again, he picks it up, Ardie Savea for Smith. Here's Julian Savea, finds Barrett into the gap. Now it starts to open up. Beautiful. And Ardie Savea right under the posts. Copybook stuff. Here's Savea, throws an outrageous dummy. Drops it off. Oh, Aaron Smith's there. And he's got a double.
Well, I asked the question, can the All Blacks capitalise off the Welsh mistake of exiting? I tell you what, they certainly can.
Yo, okay. Chilling over here with my boy Mamba. Gonna go there, gonna do the Zumba. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Gonna check here with my big boo. Yeah, 5 clips. Yeah.
Another advantage. Dane Coles sells it, then he puts it up. Ardie Savea.
Savea! Ardie Savea scores!
Too much pressure.
Perifeta. He's through Perifeta. And away goes Savea. All Blacks score again through Ardie Savea.
Out the back, Wallace Teal, they rush up wide out, and it's a gift for Ritz, who gets away. Coimbete coming back. Now here comes Ardie for the All Blacks.
Flat across for George Bauer. Now Savea! Ardie Savea in test number 50 scores a try. Ball partially charged and taken down nicely by Kane. Releases well for Savea. Sells a big dummy and offloads to Smith.
Boy, oh boy, he did well. Ardie Savea, biggest dummy in the game.
They go short again and they get a good drive going too. And they go to the line, they score.
It's Ardie Savea, too big, too strong.
I know for me, like, the deeper I know someone, or if I've got a really genuine connection with someone, like, I'll go on the field and break my bones for them. Like, and I feel like that's tied to how we do family in our culture. How I sum it up is we may have lost and won games, but I feel like we won massively off the field. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Ardie, this must be a very special moment for you, leading the team out for your first test.
Yeah, it's special, mate. It's taken a week to dwell in, but I know myself and the boys are just itching to get out there and play. My goal was to not be known for what I did on the rugby field, but how I made people feel. To be continued.
Hey guys, welcome back. The Springbok team has been named for the test against the All Blacks. A massive test match coming up for the Springboks there. Eden Park, Hoodoo, 50 game unbeaten from 1994. A very tough place for Springboks to play. And the last time they played there, I think a lot of people will remember Dan Carter's being tackled by Bismarck du Plessis. That's come up a couple of times this week in the build-up. We're quite used to it, and it's really a big game. Yeah, so Russie's named the team, a very settled team, 17 players from Cape Town. A bit of bad luck for Jean-Luc Dupré, because apparently he was going to be in the team. Yeah, those will probably remember he was in the team in Cape Town and then had to withdraw from a stomach bug. So his bad luck continues. And the week before, he missed out on the incoming tours. He got concussion just before the incoming tours, and also had the birth of his child back in England. And then he was supposed to play against the Wallabies in Cape Town. Got the stomach bug day before the Boks went to run down the field in Cape Town, and then obviously withdrew as well. So he's really had a run of bad luck. One of the things that's happened now is that he has had, unfortunately, looks like quite a serious knee injury that's happened to him as well. So yeah, that's keeping him out as well. So it looks like he's going to be out for a long time. So he was named in the side on Monday, and part of that sort of solves the equation about why Jesse Kriel is captaining the side and not Sia Khaleesi. Jesse was named as the captain on Monday internally in the team thing, and Sia trained on Monday, so he was eligible for selection, but he was only going to return on the second game in Wellington next week. But because that happened, the Boks brought him back in. So that's quite interesting, because Sia coming in, and the team does have this rule that if you don't train on a Monday, then you can't be selected. And obviously Sia trained on Monday, Jean-Luc trained on Monday. On Wednesday he went down, and at that stage the Boks don't like changing their plans very much. They've had quite a bit of disruption this year already with the changes that they've had. So yeah, it's I think quite a sensible decision. Sia's still going to do his part, and the Boks work in a team of leaders anyway, where that's not just one leader. The one guy's the captain, but there's leaders in certain positions, and defensively and in each of the set pieces as well. So a very settled team that they've named. Let's have a look at that team quickly, and we can go through it. So here's the team that's been selected for the Eden Park game. It was always going to be probably their best team anyway, and a settled team as well. I think let's just go through the forward pack first of all. Oxenchair, no surprise there, Malcolm Marx. Thomas du Toit is an interesting one, because you would have thought Wilco Lowe might have done enough to get there, but the fact that they've got Thomas du Toit in there, they obviously see something in the All Black scrum that they feel they can target as well. So he's going to be starting it. Great for him to get a start. Wilco Lowe will come on second half, and I think that's going to be quite interesting to see as well. We're looking forward to that scrum battle. New Zealand has one of the strongest scrums in world rugby, and it's always an epic battle between these two sides. Eben Etzebeth is back. He was on the bench last time. Ruan Nokia keeps his place ahead of Luet de Jager. That's quite interesting. But those of you who watch the channel know I rate Ruan Nokia very highly for his work rate. He's a guy who's never had a bad Springbok test. He's always plays his heart out. And certainly a player that, you know, does everything, ticks all the boxes that the management want from him. And then the loose trio, we've spoken a bit about Sia coming back in. Interestingly, that's the exact same loose trio they played against Australia at Ellis Park. Marco van Staden, who does a lot of work, who's probably played the most minutes in the Springbok jersey of all the players this year, certainly is impressed with his workload for the Springboks. And I know he's got some of the detractors, but he's certainly one of the most hard-working guys there. Pieter-Steph du Toit's back. He was, of course, was out with concussion in the previous game in Cape Town. He missed that one, but he's back in Sia Kolisi. So a very settled pack, a very big pack, a pack that's also been picked. The same explanation was given for this loose trio, was the breakdown threat that Australia had. So players, all three loose trio players who hit the rucks quite a lot. It didn't work against Australia at Ellis Park because of injuries. Marco van Staden came off with a gum guard that showed a false positive about a head knock, and so he was off the field from the HIA and passed the HIA in return, and then Sia Kolisi went off with a knee injury. So that was obviously shouldn't have happened there. Looking at the back line, no surprise at Grant Williams. I know there was some consternation in New Zealand whether Faf de Klerk should have come in or was going to come in. I didn't ever think that was going to happen. Grant Williams, Andre Pollard, certainly the 9 and 10 that the Boks played against the Wallabies in Cape Town, and certainly the two front runners in their positions as well. It'd be good to see them get a second test straight after that together. Then there's been some injuries to Kurt the Orange, Edward van der Merwe, so Kanan Moody gets the one wing, Cheslin Colby's always on the other wing, and that's great to see. Settled midfield of David de Linde and Jesse Kriel, really settled, and a huge part of the Boks success over the last couple of years. And then Willie Leroux getting his 101st test. Of course, he was also supposed to play in Cape Town and withdrew with the niggle a couple of days before the test match. So that's the starting 15. Now, looking at the bench, it's quite interesting. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, who's the swinger there, he's on the bench as well. He, of course, missed out with a concussion as well. He had, in training with Eben Etzebeth. Boan Venter, who's really making the most of his call-up, his late call-up, and he's also on the bench as well. Wilco Lowe will be the other. That'll be the front row in the second half. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how they do against that All Black front row. Obviously, the Boks have seen something there. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. And let's look at the rest of the bench as well. Some experience coming in for the rest of the bench. It's a 5-3 bench, as you can see. Luet de Jager comes in there, and he's got a good engine as well to come on in the second half. Kwagga Smith, the perennial substitute, and does exceptionally well off the bench for the Springboks as well. Kobus Reinach, all sorts of experience there. Also enjoying his sort of run with the BOK team as well. Sasha Fine-Mngomezulu, not surprised there at all. He's going to come on in that second half, I think. And adds he can come on in a variety of positions, so the Boks can use him anywhere. And then Ethan Hooker's the very interesting one. The Boks say they did that because they don't really have a 13 replacement on the bench, but Ethan Hooker can also play wing. And Rossi didn't mention anything in terms of the hybrid thing that they do with Andre Esterhuizen, but certainly that must come to mind as well. But Ethan Hooker is certainly one of the stars of the future that has done exceptionally well for the Sharks, and getting his shot there. It will be only his second test for the Springboks. But certainly a player we expect to play a lot more games in the future. So that's the Springbok team to face the All Blacks. A real good side as well. A very settled side. Probably the side that we expected in the most part. Maybe the loose trio is the one that's maybe a little bit, I won't say worrying, because it didn't work against Australia there. But they've certainly got a plan, and they've had a couple more weeks to work on it as well. So maybe that's going to be interesting. But I think it's going to be small margins that wins it in Eden Park, at Eden Park for the Boks. If they do win it, the All Blacks aren't unbeaten there in 50 games for nothing. So it's going to be a very, very tough challenge for the world champions. But let me know what you think. Who do you think should have played? Are you happy with the squad? Let me know in the comments. Always read those comments. And as always, guys, please do the thumbs up and if you can, smash that subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel. But thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing your comments there about the team. Cheers.
Right. Good evening, guys. Welcome to our team announcement. Good morning to those in South Africa. We've got head coach Rassie Erasmus and Ruan Urkia, Springbok lock. We'll start off with 15 minutes online for the SA media. Guys, please, once you've asked your questions, please put off your microphones so we don't have sounds in the back. Raise your hands for questions. We'll take a couple of questions in South Africa, a couple from the floor over here, and then we'll cut it off after the 15 minutes. Please raise your hands for questions, one question at a time, and you're allowed asking your Afrikaans questions in this 15 minutes so that you've got your content back in SA. Is that cool with everybody? Right. You can raise your hands for questions. Yeah?
Thanks, Gina. Thanks, Rassie. Thanks, Ruan. Rassie, I know there's a million questions we probably want to ask, but let's start with this one. We know how tight these games are, whether we play in South Africa or New Zealand. This is going to be especially tight given all the history. But what do you think could be the difference between winning and losing at Eden Park on Saturday?
Yes, yeah, no, morning to you guys and ladies on that side. No, I looked at the team they announced and the team we announced, and I think we're both going with a 5-3 split, and what they're bringing off the bench and we bringing off the bench, I think it's very much similar. And there hasn't been a lot between us. I've got a good referee. We know the way he referees. I think scrum times is going to be big for both teams, and I think both teams have been scrumming well. You know, there's no 6-2 splits. I think the team they selected got a lot of guys that's biting real hard at the breakdown. Kwagga coming off the bench, Du Plessis coming off the bench. We'll be biting hard. We've got a lock on the bench. They've got a lock on the bench and a full front row and almost 9 a midfielder and a winger, the same as us. So I think both coaches or management team and coaching staff are expecting a really tight game. And I guess it's the belief at the vital moments. And that's always been the last couple of years. I know there was that big 57-0 by them way back then. And then we had one big one at Twickenham. But yeah, I think it's belief and the right decisions and momentum shifting moments which any team handle the best. So I can't pinpoint it to one or two things. I think in all areas of the game is going to be a hell of a competitive. So sorry for not having a straight up answer.
Baie dankie, Elsreg.
Is dit Afrikaans aan?
Thank you so much, Zina. Goeiedag, meneer. Goeiedag, Rassie Ruan. Rassie, kan jy net vinnig vra? Miskien net Afrikaans net so kortliks 'n opsomming. Die samestelling van hierdie span, wat was jou denkwyse agter die span geweest? Rassie, jy het ook vroeg in die week gesê jy gaan natuurlik wag tot wanneer jou ewe knee Scott Robinson sy span bekend maak om te besluit hoe julle span finaal sou lyk. Moes jy drastiese veranderings maak nadat jy gesien het hoe lyk die All Black span? En net kortliks jou denkwyse agter die kapteinskap. Hoekom was dit so moeilik of hoekom was dit so maklik geweest om vir Jesse te behou as kaptein met Sia nog steeds in die span?
Ja, okay. So die eerste een in ons gaat ons span verander nadat ons ek het dit in maandag se perskonferensie probeer verduidelik en miskien per se dit nie heeltemal reg oorgekom nie. Kyk, ons het 'n slip-up gehad teen Australië in ons eerste game. Met ons beplanning in die jaar, wou ons graag daai game gewen het. Maar ons het altyd geweet hierdie 2 games teen Nieu-Seeland. Ek weet omdat ons nou teen Australië verloor het is obviously extra druk op ons. Maar ons het altyd geweet elke klein voordeel wat ons teen Nieu-Seeland gaan kry in Nieu-Seeland sal bietjie help, en ons het gedink om die span aan te kondig later sal ons bietjie help. En ek dink ek het probeer so eerlik moontlik sê maandag. So JL sou gespeel het en if jy Pieter, wat is sy naam, Sia as ons ouens nie op Maandag kan oefen nie, dan word nie gekies op Saterdag nie. Dit is nog altyd ons policy gewees. Maar toe Sia voluit geoefen Maandag en JL het sy knie het gegaan Dinsdag het sy knie gegaan ongelukkig en ek dink hy's uit vir 'n taamlike periode so JL so gespeel het. En dan het ons het klaar die kaptein aangekondig Maandag, so omdat ons eers Woensdag hier die spanverandering gemaak het met Sia, weet Sia het self gesê dit om weet alles hoe ons beplan het en hoe ons kommunikeer en wat ons geoefen het hoe om te kommunikeer met mekaar op die veld. Het JC leiding gevat en saam met Eben en Ox voor. So net omdat Sia nou op 'n laat oomblik ingekom het, omdat jy al beseer was, het dit maak dit meer sin vir ons en ek bedoel dis van Sia se kant af self gekom en ek dink die hele span aanvaar dit so. Is daar iets wat ek nie geantwoord het die pers?
Ek is gelukkig, dankie meneer Rasmus.
Hallo Ziba, dankie. Hi Rassie, hi Roan, hoop dit gaan goed daar. Rassie, 'n baie gesettelde agterlyn. Is jy gelukkig met daai samestelling en dan net wat verwag jy 'n gebalanseerde wedstryd soos in die een teen Australië van daai agterlyn?
Ja, ek dink laas keer mense sê ons baie keer iets in 'n perskonferensie en dan tyd dit jou so bietjie as jy nie bietjie daarop uitbrei nie. Jy weet hoe ek gesê het ek dink Australië speel die tipe game wat ons speel in 2019. Toe sê ek en ek dink dis die way vir ons om te gaan het. Ek glad nie kritiek op Australië gelewer nie. Ek het nie gesê dis nie die way wat hulle moet gaan nie. Ons voel net met almal wat nou 6-2 splits doen en almal wat die soort van die bomsquad ding doen, moet ons verskillende maniere kan speel om in 'n goeie pool te kan kom en om in die volgende 2 jaar, is nou eers 2025, die World Cup is eers in 2027, so ons sal ons game redelik moet aanpas, maar ons het nooit gesê dat in wat is die regte woord, tough clutch games, baie belangrike wedstryde, moet ons nie tipiese ou toets rugby kan speel en spanne squeeze nie. So en ek dink as jy na hierdie span kyk, ek het dit by Matt Pierce gehoor nou net, is eintlik baie interessant. Die starting line-up wat in die backline wat in naweek speel, ek op die match squad vir my waar ek hierdie stat gee nie. Ek het dit nie geweet nie, die agterlyn wat die naweek begin is presies dieselfde een wat in Kaapstad begin het. En in die forward pack is dit omtrent 1 of 2 changes. So dis 'n jaar later. Ek dink Jaden was op skram af ingewees en ek dink Franna het nog steeds gespeel in Bongi. Dis 'n baie settled team. En baie keer moet ons net 'n game speel asof dit 'n moet wen is en ons regte toetsrugby moet speel, maar ons glo ook nie dat ek Australië gekritiseer het, ek glo ook ons moet manier kan speel baie keer as ons agter is in 'n game of ons moet regtig die game bietjie wyd vat. Moet ons daai ability aanleer en ons het die balans verloor teen Australië, so ons glo die span wat ons hier gekies het gaan bietjie beter wees. En daai opsie. Nathan?
Thank you very much, Coach Rassie and Rowan. Coach, just talk us through the All Blacks named their side a couple of hour before your team. What do you make of their team, and were you expecting for them to name this team for this weekend?
No, we weren't quite sure. That's why I said on Monday, Nathan, you're playing New Zealand in New Zealand, you need every single bit of advantage. Not that I think it's a massive advantage, but for us not 100% knowing the team they would pick, and again, there's 4 or 5 surprises that we didn't think would be in the team. And I guess that's why we were front up and said, we will also only name our team on Thursday. Sometimes we feel naming a team on a Monday, it's out of the way and the speculation is out of the way. We're away from home, we don't see all the speculation and permutations people think that should be picked and so on. So Holland on the bench, we know that Lomax would have came into the mix. We were sure Walter would play. I wasn't sure about the sixth flanker that's playing, or obviously we know Savea would play. There was always doubt about the nines, but I think, The starting 9 played against us in the World Cup final. I wasn't sure whether they're going to swap outside centre and wings and where Will Jordan would play. So, no, we were. That's why I said on Monday, we were guessing a bit. And we just thought, let's even the playing field, that both teams only really know the teams on Thursday. And that's the truth.
Guys, we'll take
Great.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Sorry, my raising hand function doesn't work for some weird reason. Rassie and Ron, morning. Rassie, I mean, I know you've downplayed the game as, you know, it's one of the games, mini games this year, and obviously another test in the 4-year cycle. But now that it's here, I mean, is this the last big mountain? Not the last, but the biggest mountain for the Boks to scale in this 4-year cycle. You don't get to Eden Park often. The Eden Park record. I mean, a bit like you put emphasis on Wellington in 2018 as part of your growth strategy. Is there a big emphasis on this game for similar reasons in 2020? So what are we, 25?
Yeah. No, Craig, I hope I didn't downplay the game in my previous comments. No, it's a massive game, and not just for the reason that it's Eden Park, and I mean, there's many contributing factors. The history, I mean, not a lot of our guys who's been here has won in New Zealand. I never won as a player, I think, in New Zealand. And we, as a coach, drew one and won one. So for a lot of the players, even though they're really experienced, it's massive just playing in New Zealand and downplaying it. The only reason I said I don't think we can say with all honesty or openness that it isn't the biggest test match is just because there's teams that's beaten us at home, like Ireland, like Australia. And I just wanted to compare that. We say, you know, if this game's the biggest, what about those games where we were beaten? So no, it is a massive game. It's all other test countries that we play, in my opinion. There's some of the specialness. You know, Ireland's always technically sort of a challenge. In Australia, since the Greg and Larkham days, I always found them very tough to play against. But New Zealand, there's history from the Flower Bomb games since the Cavaliers. Since we were little boys watching them, that were the team that they currently won the world again. And when we want to get us back onto the map, where people believed in us, everybody, you know, opposition, referees, our own supporters, our own players, it was New Zealand. So no, I'm not trying to underplay it. I just try to say that to say it's the biggest game. It's a bit of a slap of a face to the team that's beaten us already, but no, it's massive. No, it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. It's an honor. It's Ardie's 100th Test match. It's a big build-up. Rugby championships are all squares. No, it's massive. We are desperately wanting to win this game.
Thanks.
Is dit ek of?
Ja.
Ja, Rassie en Roan, net twee vrae Rassie. Net jou besluit oor Ethan Hoeke, wat het hy vir julle gewys in terme van om hy go van die bank af te gee met meer ervare opsies soos Fasie en Damian Willems sit daar, en dan net vir Roan ook hoe voel dit vir jou meneer om in so 'n historiese groot wedstryd Saterdag te kan begin langs Eben?
Okay. So the first thing is with Afrikaans praat. Yeah, the
Afrikaans of Engels, Rassie, maak nie saak nie.
Okay, I'll do the English so the people here can also understand. Now, the first thing is, I think I'm not saying that's the right way. The way we are you know, sort of approaching building squad depth is, you know, a guy like Fassi had a few starts now. You know, Damian Willems, he knows what he must work on as a 28-year-old who's won 2 World Cups or been part of 2 World Cups. We know we've got him as a banker there. We know when we're going to unleash him or give him a chance. We just think with Willie helping Kainan. I know Kainan knows himself. He didn't have a great game last week, and that's why we're backing him again. And having a calmer hand like a Willie there at the back helps a lot. You know, again, a guy like Sasha covers 10, 12, and 15 for you. Ethan, we don't have a specialist centre on the bench. And that's why Ethan will probably cover centres for us. Only centre for us. The team we picked is, we think we're going to have to match the pace while bringing the physicality. And, we thought they're going to go 5-3 split. So, we're trying to, at some stages, pick the team that we think can squeeze a win out against the best team in the world currently. And sometimes we try to put in guys under real pressure for them to understand what it's like. So when we press on their button a little bit later in the year, Ireland, France, next year, they kind of get used to the environment with senior players around them. I can't remember the second part of your question.
Dus die tweede ene was vir Rowan gewees, net vir hom, wat dit vir hom beteken, hoe spesiaal dit vir hom is.
François, ja nee, ongelooflike groot voorreg vir my. Ek dink is my eerste keer wat ek in Nieu-Seeland is en teen Nieu-Seeland speel in Nieu-Seeland, so vir my 'n groot voorreg. As mens kyk na die geskiedenis van die All Blacks en die bokke, is dit ek dink dit sal begin môre meer vir my inskop, so nader dan die game kom, maar ja, ongelooflik bevoorreg om hier te wees, soos ek altyd sê, al soveel ouens wat die vermoë het om ook hier te wees, en ek is net geseënd om in hierdie posisie hierdie naweek te wees, so vir my is dit belangrik om uit te gaan en my alles te gee vir my land. Ja.
Dankie manne.
Rassie, a lot has been made about Eden Park being a hoodoo ground for the Springboks. Yet, from what I can see, I don't think any of your players have actually played there, because New Zealand have tended to keep you guys away from Eden Park when you have played in Auckland. So, I mean, I'm not sure how you can fear a ground you haven't played at. Just what are your thoughts then on this whole thing about it being a ground where the Springboks tend to lose?
It's a difficult thing for me to answer, so it doesn't come across the wrong way. But Ellis Park is for us holy. And 2 years ago, the All Blacks, we played them in Mbombela in Nelspruit, and we did well against them. And then we went back to Ellis Park. We lost against the All Blacks, and we've got the Ellis Park aura. And 2 weeks ago, we lost against Australia there. So. It gets talked amongst us, obviously, and I listened to Australia when they spoke about that. And then after you've achieved it, you don't go bragging around and say, like we beat them in Wellington a couple of years ago, and then we drew. After that, you don't go around and say, we beat them in Wellington, we beat them in Wellington. So it's on the night. It's a 70 by 100-meter field. It's a referee. There's 15 guys on the field. There's a crowd that's going to be passionate, like we played against the French team in France. In one of the games, it was really vital. So we're not disrespecting that. We don't think there's something more that can motivate us just by playing the All Blacks. So I think it will be for them a hell of a benefit because, and sometimes it's not, like for us against Australia when they beat us there. So internally, I think you can back me up here. You don't get discussed a hell of a lot because, what can you do more? You're playing on a rugby field and it's the same measurement. So it will be great if we achieve that, but that's not our driving factor this week.
Thank you, guys. We'll send out the recording shortly. Thank you so much and have a good day.
The All Blacks have named their match day 23 for Saturday's all-important clash against the reigning world champions, the Springboks, at the fortress that is Eden Park in Auckland. Eden Park has not been breached since 1994 when the New Zealanders lost to a very motivated French side. On Saturday, for what will be Ardie Savea's 100th test, the Springboks will be looking to create a bit of history of their own. But to talk to us about this fixture and all things rugby, we have roped in former Springbok loosehead prop, Stephen Kitchov. Stephen, very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, man. Now, Eden Park has been an impenetrable fortress for the All Blacks since 1994. So, from your own playing days, Stephen, what makes playing at that ground so uniquely challenging, both physically and psychologically, for the visiting teams?
I remember back in Super Rugby days, we used to have a real struggle against the Blues because I think they just seen Eden Park as a fortress and somehow just played out of body experience, and the New Zealanders, I think, just have so much pride when it comes to Eden Park and playing in front of their Auckland fans. So yeah, it's a tough stadium to play at. I think the Boks haven't had success there for many years, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend's game. I think it's still going to be a lot of tension in the air. Not one of the two teams are performing at 100% at the moment, but still there's going to be a lot of energy, and I'm sure both teams will be well prepared in the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure they'll put up a good performance.
Yeah, sure thing. Energy and tension will definitely be palpable at this particular match. And the All Blacks have shown their cards. I mean, we've waited until the last minute to name our teams for this important clash. So what sort of tactics are you expecting for this one in particular? Are we going to be forwards heavy, or are we look for mobility and utility value in loading the team with players who can play for more than one position?
Yeah, I think with this all-new hybrid approach that Rassie has, with playing guys like Kwacha, sometimes playing him in the back line, or having Andre Esterhuizen that doubles up as a loose forward. I think it's just trying to get that team synergy from the Springboks. So I think opportunity for Andre to pack down at flanker earlier this season was a massive change up. But I think it will be a dominance performance. Like, they would want to be great at set piece, want to put pressure when it comes to mauling. I think the forwards interplay has to be a big one. But I mean, it's always tough. I think the All Blacks has a great pack of forwards, especially under Scott. I think their forward players stepped up. They're a bit more hands-on with the ball. They create good links between them and the backs. But you never know. And I think with Rassie and his tactics and things always changing, I honestly would think a aerial kicking pressure game and defense-orientated pressure with a good counter-strike plan, where if New Zealand tends to kick the ball back.
Yeah. And for all it's worth, both teams are relatively low on confidence after less than satisfactory results in their first two games. Yeah. But the previous forms go out the window when these two rugby giants meet. Talk to us about preparation for such a match. I mean, like a match of this stature, and the current crop of Springboks have an ability of winning the big ones, eh?
Yeah, 100%. I think when these two teams meet, there's a different level of energy and preparation that goes into a week or 2 weeks build-up. So for me, my last time I played against them was in the World Cup final, and the previous time was that test match at Twickenham. So if I have to think back at the Twickenham test match, it was all about excitement, almost reliving your childhood in the way you wanted to play, create a bit of excitement, at least try something, be a bit more experimental, and that was our mindset against Twickenham, and we had a record score against them. And then in the final of the World Cup, there was just the pressure of playing in the final, and we were asked to go out and express ourselves. We had a similar mindset to really enjoy the game and not really think too much on the effects it might have if we lose or if we win, but just go out and express ourselves, and playing against one of the best teams in the world. You don't often get that opportunity. So hopefully they have the same mindset and talking points this week, and the Oaks can just go out and express themselves and play in a stadium where they possibly could make history and break a record and take something away from New Zealand. So yeah, I'm holding thumbs, and I'm sure Rassie and Sia and the leadership group have come up with, or not Sia, but like the leadership group for this weekend has come up with something special, and I'm sure they will take it to New Zealand for full 85 minutes.
And do you think the Springboks bomb squad concept can sort of unsettle the All Blacks in an environment where momentum swings quickly?
Yeah, I mean, rugby is not won with 15 players, in my opinion. I think that last 20 minutes of any test match is always crucial. That's where probably most of the points are scored. And if you think about the two sides that's playing this weekend, South Africa has conceded, I think, over 40 points in the last 30 minutes of a test match, and New Zealand has conceded, I think, also 30 or 20 points in the last 20 minutes of a test match. So I think the game's going to open up, and whoever's bench or bomb squad is stronger at that point is definitely going to have the upper hand.
Now, Stephen, let's talk life after rugby. You have not sat around and done nothing. You seem to be a very busy man these days. Let's start with your involvement in the Thrive by WHX, where attitudes and physiology seem to be important in making sure that the body is in good shape, for as long as possible.
100%. No, I think with the World Longevity Summit, it's quite special because I was walking around on yesterday and the day before, and just all the tech and fitness and influencers and people that really care about their personal wellness is quite amazing. I had an opportunity to talk at a sports youth and wellness conference on yesterday morning, and just to share my story on how I had to cope with retirement, how I had to go from an unbelievable sporting career and the ability to play rugby for 14, 15 years into a entrepreneurial role or a business that I started was quite special. So yeah, I think Thrive is up to something special, and I'm looking forward to working with them down the line again.
Stivovo, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Have a good one.
Well, that was Stephen Kishoff. He's a Springbok, former Springbok loosehead prop, talking to us about that all-important clash between the Springboks and New Zealand this coming Saturday.
Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus has named his match 23 for the massive Castle Lager Rugby Championship clash against the All Blacks at Eden Park here in Auckland on Saturday. Not many changes to the team that defeated Australia in Cape Town in round 2 of the tournament. But interesting to note that Jesse Kriel is named as captain, although Siya Kolisi will be packing down at number 8. And just an explanation around that, Jean-Luc Dupré was originally selected to play at number 8 in this test match, but he injured a knee during training. And the Springboks were hoping to give Kolisi some extra time to recover from his injury, but he's been past fit to start at number 8. Shim, your comments on the pack?
A strong pack, a pack that can scrum. Look, it will be different against New Zealand. New Zealand have also got a strong pack. I think mobility is important. So Rowan Nokia brings work rate. Malcolm Marks, obviously, the work rate, the breakdown work. Siya and Van Staden for me are good to protect our own ball and attack, and also Van Staden in terms of stealing. And Peter Steff, we know the engine he's got on the work rate, and Eben to drive the toughness. So a strong Springbok pack, but also a bench that's also strong in scrumming wise, with a guy like Wilkelo coming off. Jan Hendrik Wessels can also help in terms of scrum, and Boone Venter, what an opportunity for him. So the pack is solid, the pack is strong, and they're the last good questions of New Zealand.
Just one change in the back line to that team that played in Cape Town. It's at fullback. The experience of Willie Leroux coming in, a 101st test cap for him. The significance of that selection?
It's massive. I think Willie, with his communication, especially behind Jesse, behind Pollard, the kicking game, the maturity, the ability to know when to play the game, the right side of the field, the ability to assist and make guys look around him look good. So, it's a good selection. You could have selected any 3 fullbacks, but I think Willie, just the experience probably got him probably ahead. His kicking game, the ability to spot space, and probably that's where they see a weakness in New Zealand. It's going to be a massive game. Look, as much as the Kiwis say we're going to kick up and unders or towards us, they're going to do the same exactly against us. So that's going to be an important aspect. But Willie's got the ability to spot space. That's what I like. If there are scraps around, the ability to make that pass and get the wings into space.
You mentioned the scrumming power coming off the bench for both sides, but a 5-3 split from the Springboks, does that surprise you?
Yeah, I thought we'd go with the 6-2, to be honest with you. I thought probably, an Archies Neyman and Alert Yaka or Rowan Nokia coming off the bench. But we got Kwaka Smith. I think it's going to be busy in the back also. I think the All Blacks, I think Scott Robertson has spoken quite loudly about how they want to play with tempo, play with intensity, and it might be high ball in play. So good selection. I think Ethan Hooker is probably the big surprise for me in the back line, but he covers centre, covers the back 3 also, and then obviously Sasha can cover fullback. So it's a rounded team for the Springboks. It's such a hard game to call, Matt. It's so much excitement. The selection, you could have, chosen Fassi, you could have chosen Damon Willemse, but the debate's going to rage on, and I think that's what makes this game so exciting.
It is exciting. 31 years unbeaten, the All Blacks at Eden Park, but they are on a 4-match consecutive losing streak against the Springboks. How much of a role do you think that will play, these recent results where the Springboks have come out on the right side of a number of tight games?
No, it's massive. It becomes a psychological thing, Matt. 4 times in a row. Can you do it 5 times? The game gets tight. People start questioning themselves. So that's exactly what happens. I think, obviously, home ground advantage for New Zealand. Their record, is it something that's going to, inspire them, or is it a burden for them? Is it going to have that pressure, especially when that game gets tight? And that's what it's about. So if Springboks go down in this game, they keep that record, but there's so much pressure attached to it. If it was another field, it would be life goes on. But this record, this unique record in world rugby is what everyone is talking about.
Well, this game has loomed large for a very long time. With apologies to all other rugby playing nations, this is the most anticipated match of the 2025 season so far. We look forward to your company, and the good news is only 2 more sleeps.
Blown them away on the scoreboard, and it was a 10-try blitz for New Zealand. Basham away to Mertens with the drop kick. Bunts floating to the centre to Brewer, to Wilson. Here comes a try for the Lomu man. And the Bledisloe Cup is going to come home to Auckland. That surely is the try that shields the game from New Zealand. Big game up the middle. Spencer. Cullen. Christian Cullen. It's all over. Christian Cullen. The All Blacks. Spencer. What beautiful hands. Easy. Tola. Marker. What a marvellous pickup and try. The 109th clash between 2 great rugby nations, Australia and New Zealand, and this is what it's all about. The Bledisloe Cup, currently held, of course, by Australia. If he gets a 9th penalty, it equals the record held by Hiroshi of Japan. There he goes. And he's done it. And the All Blacks have taken the honours at Eden Park by 34 points to 15. Craig down. Now, only a sprint side of it. And Justin Marshall scores his 18th test try. Eden Park in Auckland, a ground that the Springboks haven't been successful since in a test match since 1937. There it is now for Kelleher. Alatini stretching, he's there, Peter Alatini. All Black forwards have run well tonight. Holler's shining immediately, and Howland has to reach back, and McDonald, and Leon McDonald picks up his 2nd try tonight. This will be the 118th battle between the 2 nations, and at stake tonight here at Eden Park, the cherished Bledisloe Cup. And the All Blacks set it again, now Marshall, away for Spencer, long one out to Mialamu. Howard wants to join it, Mialamu, awaited like Howard, that's a brilliant try. Game is over, the Bledisloe Cup is back in New Zealand. Now Spencer, the kick across for Rocker, Funko, to the touchline. Gear still leading the race. Gear again, and Rico Gear gets the try. But he is going to take it quickly, puts the kick in, and it's got to be a try. Don't have it. The All Blacks have won it by 10, and they've won the Tri-Nations. McAllister has a go. McAllister's in.
And here comes Richie McCaw out preserving a 20-year record here at Eden Park.
And this time Larkimore nailed. Here's a chance, McAllister. He's got some speedsters, but he may not need them. And Luke McAllister gets it.
The Blenheim's World Cup.
So Wepu feeds it off to Carter. He gets hit hard again. BOK drops it off to Toiava and majors it.
Oh, he's gone down big time.
Here goes Soialo to Lennox.
Stay out! Push back! Push back!
All Blacks desperately looking to get it back. They do. A crack at the line. Carter puts the little kick in. Here come the chasers.
Here we go. They're getting close again. Advantage being played here. And now Conrad Smith, McCaw!
Looks for his support, finds it in the form of Richie McCaw. And now it's with Conrad Smith. Smith for the corner. Conrad Smith's in.
They haven't lost at this venue since France beat them in 1994. Listen to the roar for New Zealand. Real trouble here from the Wallabies. No! They're in. The All Blacks have beaten the Wallabies yet again at Eden Park.
Every 4 years, the very best 20 rugby teams in the world gather for the sports showpiece, the Rugby World Cup. In 2011, it's New Zealand for the 7th edition of the Cup. Got an offload, but it wasn't taken by the first player. Here's Nonu running straight and running hard. Fires it back. Here's an opportunity for Slade. Nonu on the double, and Martin Nonu under the posts. Now Nialamu goes in. Here's Carter. Works it across to Nonu coming from deep. Nonu's clear. What a sidestep. 5 metres away. All Blacks rushing to get ball back quickly. Now Carter away for Dag. And a try for Adam Thompson. Now Wepu as they send it wide. And almost an intercept, but Reid will get the try.
Snatched away by Wepu. Cruden now. Dag up in the line. Little show of the ball. Dag! Infield to Nonu. First try to the All Blacks.
Tonight we arrive in Auckland, New Zealand for the 2011 Grand Final. And the throw is good. Pops it up to Tony Woodcock. There's the first try of the final. Ellis is going to do it. And they're offside. And the world champions for the second time. And now here's a chance. Carter. Dag. Savea's lining up. Dag might have to do it himself. No, Savea. He gets a hat-trick and is the first All Black to score 3 against Ireland. Now Smith. Try scored by Israel Dag. Gets it up to Ben Smith. Play break by Ben Smith. Links it up and Aaron Smith. It's been tipped away. That'll be a penalty. Up goes Conrad Smith. Pops it up. Brody Retallick gets his first test try.
And onto Eden Park for a huge welcome.
Slings it wide. Quick hands. Try scored. Going to have a crack at the line here. McCaw holding it up at the back. McCaw surging. Heaves it out in the midfield. Just need to keep shifting it. Nonu. Nonu's in.
Until tonight, the great Brian O'Driscoll held the record for the most test matches played by a single player. That record is now owned by Richie McCaw.
Tonight to play in front of your home crowd here at Eden Park, it's an absolutely wonderful place to play, and I just feel so proud to have
have been able to do it and keep on doing it, because I absolutely love it. And yeah, as I say, just very thankful to have those opportunities.
Aaron Smith again. Here comes another kick. Savea lining it up. Julian Savea. The Bledisloe Cup has been retained. The Rugby Championship safely tucked away, but there's still maximum incentive for the All Blacks to beat the Wallabies here at Eden Park this evening. No rugby nation has ever been able to score 18 consecutive victories at Tier 1 international level. Tonight the All Blacks get the chance to write their names into the history books. Oh, if he managed to get an inside pass there. Now it's been knocked on, and here goes Ben Smith. Chasing after it is Cruden. Here's Savea. Savea gets away. And the All Blacks break the shackles. Sopuanga to Famawina. Now Sopuanga doubling round nicely. He's got the pace to go through. Perenara's looking. Perenara. And he sets sail for the line. Chased by Fotorigi. But he's in. TJ Perenara. The All Blacks now pumped away by Perenara. Ioane's coming quickly. Got his hands, and he's got pace. He's got a heap of pace, and away he goes. Rico Ioane, number 2.
Outstanding, Rico Ioane.
Here is Lau Murphy, got a beautiful pass off to Leonard Brown, and Johnny Barrett on debut. And about to blow the whistle. Does so. It's a draw, and it's a drawn series. The ball ripped away. Good work by Luke Whitelock. Here's Taylor still on the field. Finds McKenzie. Damien McKenzie chased and scores. Brown. And Bowden Barrett. He's going to do it. Geordie Barrett dribbles it through. Here's Reese. Now, can he win the race? I reckon. What a try.
Wow.
Tackle made by the new man, Alatoa. Now Moonga pops it away to Goshen. Johnny Barrett.
Eden Park in Auckland has become a fortress for the All Blacks. Unbeaten here in 27 years. Unbeaten here against Australia in 35 years. Now Smith looking to deliver, goes with a beautiful pass to David Havili, and he scores. Pops it up in the end for Havili. Havili, he'll go all the way. Ho-ho.
Now Ringrose. Oh, stopped up by 7 Reese. They won't stop him. No one.
This looks really good. Taylor goes to the line.
McKenzie now quickly on. Here's Barrett in space. Bowden Barrett gets it away to Leo. He's in. And the All Blacks are back in front.
Outstanding. Outstanding, the All Black.
Well, it has been one monumental test match.
You have to tap it.
But it's going to have a familiar ending. Eden Park. It's happened again. The All Blacks now 49 without a loss. Well, he was able to advance. That's good knowledge of the laws there from Tupolva. He's made the intercept, and here come the All Blacks. Savea, he can set it up for Clark, and Caleb Clark is in. Now Geordie Barrett goes looking for space down the middle, snatched away nicely by Ratama. Said that's enough, puts it under touch. 50 without defeat for the All Blacks.
Rassie, I remember at some stage last season you did mention that Ruan is not in the mix. That's when all the locks were still fit and healthy. Then he came in and did so well. What about Ruan made you decide to have him in the starting lineup? Others like Franco and Alegia also in the mix?
Yes, contrary to what some people are saying, I think overall, if you look at the balance of people that we've used, and people forget the Ulrich Louw's injured, the Cameron Hanekom is injured, there's still a Evan Roos there, Salman Murat's 27, he's 27, what are you? Yep. He's 27, Mchunu is still there, it's Buan who's 28, so, and then there's Grant is 28, 29, Sasha's 22, Ethan is, so we're also trying to, bit by bit, get them under different pressure situations. We could have just slotted in a Sous or Starro Lewitt, but would he have been a little bit richer as a player in terms of feeling the pressure? And we know we've got Lewitt, we know we've got Franco, we know Ardie can even also call it 5-lock, but it will be like Ethan will experience the All Blacks for the first time here. It's always a little bit of a step up, and yeah, we think we're going to need a mobile team on the field to match what they're going to bring to us. And yeah, last year he played against them at home. Now he's got a chance away from home.
Rassie, earlier in the week you didn't want to risk playing Sia.
Yeah.
What changed?
No, remember that I said it was touch and go. I said I didn't say I want to risk him. I said it was going to be a difficult decision. It's going to be an emotional one. That I know him and Ardie as big mates. And John-Luc he's been so unlucky with us. It's been 7 years since he played for us. Last week he got gastro. This week his knee went, and he's always been part of training camps and he never gets a real go. So he was picked in the team, and CEO was bracketed with him because he had to get through Monday, but JL would have played until Wednesday. But I guess there's also a silver lining there. I know it's a massive game for Ardie, and we respect him and congratulate him. And I know a guy like Sia is proud of him and knowing him as a friend. So maybe a bit of a silver lining, and then taking the captaincy away from Sia is maybe just to, he's had a few niggles, maybe just to focus on the game, get back into the game. You won't probably play the whole game because he's coming back from that knee injury. So yeah, we always said touch and go, and then our hand were forced a little bit with Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc is flying home. We think it's a grade 2 knee.
Coach, the conventional sort of chat around this game is that it's going to be quite tight, low scoring, lots of kicking. But if you look at the games that the All Blacks are capable of putting on, say 2013, 2014, the win that you achieved in 2018, big high scoring games, really good, exciting open rugby. What needs to happen to perhaps get one of those games?
Yeah, I guess people say you must go back to the way you play. For us, we think we have to be able to do both kinds of games. I think New Zealand's natural way is making it loose, making it fast, and that's why we went with a 5-3 split, and that's why we have a young Ethan on the bench, and we have got Sasha on the bench, and I guess the same with them. So I don't really know if the game's going to open up, because the one in the World Cup final, and it's always when it's a must win, it tends to get a little bit more tense and more brutal and a bit more physical. But I mean, once they open you up, you struggle to contain them. So I guess that's what they're going to try and do, and we're probably going to try and make it a bit of a squeeze. So I think it's two different styles, but then history has shown you must score 28 points against New Zealand. I'm not talking World Cups, if you want to beat them. So we also have to score tries, and we've got a few plans, and not sure they're going to work, but hopefully, we have to score tries and get to plus 25 points if we want to win the game.
Rassie, how vulnerable are the All Blacks to high kicks?
Well, everybody in the media, everybody's talking about that, and we've always found it, the moment they feel the high ball, they get that pass away, they score tries from it. So, you get sometimes in a hole of a certain part of your game, and then you just need a little spark, and Will Jordan catch one and gets to offload away. Or the new winger, I'm not sure how good he's under the high ball. He was a bit of a surprise to us. If they get it right on the day, everything sometimes clicks for them. But Willie will be under pressure on the high ball. That's why we have Sasha on the bench. Kanan He's great under the high ball. Same with Ethan. So, yeah, we'll definitely, they know we're going to play an aerial game somewhere in the game. Sometimes you just need a spark and it all goes right. So I can't talk on their behalf how vulnerable they are.
Rusty, you talked about excuse me, the size of the occasion, but what would it win at Eden Park against the All Blacks at the Fortress, in a country where you've only won 4 times before? What would it mean to you and your team, and what would it mean to your country?
Firstly, you know, contrary to what's been said all over, New Zealand's number 1 in the world. New Zealand's lost 2 of the last 10 test matches, I think. You know, I think they also got a great win percentage, number 1 in the world. So, you know, we don't get drawn into this pressure they're under, and we know they are, because, you know, the media say it, and Raiders has got some flack. But for us to play here is massive. For us to face the haka, we understand the haka now. Tony's explaining to us, you know, even last year we respect it, and for us, it should turn the nervousness into excitement, and appreciate what's happening with the crowd and the history. And yeah, it would be awesome. But the Wellington win was also awesome. The World Cup win was also awesome. And we know how tough it is. But then the next weekend we play them again, so we wouldn't even able to celebrate really long, you know, if we do win. And if they win, they can't celebrate long because they play us the next week. So it's so tough to say the wrong words now, because being clever on a Thursday press conference always bites you on a Saturday. You know.
Ratsi, how big was the temptation to go 6-2, which may seem like a departure from what the traditional box strengths are for a game of this magnitude?
I'll give you my word, we announced the team internally on Monday, so nothing changed because of their team. As I said, we just thought a little bit of advantage we can get by them not knowing exactly who we're playing. That's the only reason. We definitely didn't change the team once we saw them. We thought they were going to go over 5-3 split, with the 1-9 being a little bit iffy. Or not iffy, like injured, and the other guy only getting the first cap. So having a guy like him covering a few positions would be risky for them. So now we feel honestly that we're going to need speed and pace all over the park, and we feel the team that we've picked is the fastest, fittest team that can handle that. But we also feel we've got enough grunt to match and try and get the edge on them on the physicality. So we actually decided last week already, after analysing them, that playing here 5-3 will probably be the best.
Just as a follow-up, talk us through Ethan Hooker as a selection. I mean, all Blacks have picked Carl Preston on debut. But just talk us through Ethan Hooker, what you've seen, and whether he does form part of what could be an auxiliary 6-2 split, because he has played loose for him.
No, he's not considered a 6-2 split. No, he's actually out and out covering a wing, and Kanan is covering centre. So if a wing goes down, Ethan will go up. If a centre goes down, Kanan will move to 13. If a 9 goes down, Kobus will go on. If a 10, 12 or 15 goes down, Sasha will go on. And the attributes that we believe Ethan has is physicality, good under the high ball, and aerial skills. And it's nice to get him to a game where he doesn't have to focus on centre and on wing. So Kaden is focusing on both, and we think the kind of game he plays, if he just plays his natural game, it will benefit us in this game.
Ross, you mentioned his name, and I know he's been with the Boks for a while now, but how much of an advantage is it to have a Kiwi in the camp this week?
No, it is a hell of an advantage, and you know, but it's more, you know, he doesn't give secrets away of the All Blacks, because if you're not part of the All Blacks exactly, with the new coaching staff, you know, every coach has a different way of managing his environment, and is motivating his players and getting his management and support staff to work together. But it's more to understand what New Zealanders believe in, how passionate their country are, what the haka means, why they do it. And almost like the DNA of New Zealand, how important that is to them, and I guess that's why we went with a 5-3 as well. So Tony loves New Zealand, but he's in a current job with us there, and he's really doing a great job for us, and yeah, it's wonderful to get the insights. But he wouldn't know the detail of what's going on currently in the New Zealand team.
Coach, 100th test for Ardie Savea.
Yeah.
How is he regarded in South Africa and in your playing environment?
I just think the way he talks, the way he plays, the way he leads, the decision that he makes, he makes bold decisions going and playing in for the other franchise. The things he says in post-match press conferences, the things how he handles himself even after a loss against us. I don't know him well as a person. I know him and see us very close, but I think we all can see he's a good man, and we all can see he's there for the right reasons, and we all can see he's obviously a very religious guy, and you can see that the rest of the players are looking up to him, although I understand he's a bit of a quiet guy. So yeah, it's sometimes also, but apart from history, it's an honor for us to be part of his 100th match, and I can't say I hope it goes well with him in the game, but yeah, we respect him, and when you respect somebody, it means they've had a big impact on how you see them.
Rusty, is there a specific moment in this rivalry, obviously 95, that stood out to you, both in your playing days and now through to coach?
I remember, I know it might not be significant to other people, but I remember how both of the teams felt in 1999 when we played the third and fourth place playoff. I remember the look in Tyne Randall's haka when he did that haka, and I remember the pain, and I remember it was such a bad feeling. I remember I was here in 2011 when all the flyers got injured, and what's his name, Donald, came up and they still did it. Yes, I remember when they gave us 57. I remember in the 2015 when we lost by 2 points against them in the semi-final. So I remember when we couldn't play test matches, and they allowed us to come and play here, and the Cavaliers toured there. And I'm not talking about the political side. There's just always this good connection, and yeah, it's an honor for every single guy. That's why we want some guys who hasn't done it to experience this. Because when I was playing and coaching here, it was really one of the nicest feelings. Even when you were losing, just the whole experience.
Fairly certain this is the first time there's ever been an All Black who's been named after a Springbok.
It's good to see.
Can you just give us, give New Zealanders just an idea of the statue that Morne du Plessis is held in, and what you think of du Plessis' career?
Yeah, I actually the first time I heard the name du Plessis a couple of years ago, I then just went and Googled him, and I think the father named him after Morne du Plessis. Morne, I think, was the manager for Kitch Christie and the guys also when we won the first World Cup in 1995. He played 8th man. I know I'm not skinny now, but I was also a skinny 8th man, and I used to look up to him between all the bigger guys, the Burger Gelneses and those guys. I know Rob Lowe was also a bit skinny, and I've met him many times, and he's a wonderful guy. So yeah, Morne du Plessis is a big icon in South Africa, and to hear that I don't know how the connection is between his father, or just because he maybe toured here, is named after him. But yeah, he plays totally different than Morne du Plessis. He's not a linker. He's on the ball. He steals the thing here. He's always busy, and I think him and Kwagga will be a great counter for each other when they go into the field. But it's a nice story, nice thing to know that it was named after a South African.
Last question over there.
Yeah, Rasi, what kind of figure is Jesse in that environment, and will Sia still have some freedom to lead in his own way?
The second part of will
Sia still have some freedom to lead?
Yeah, no, I guess like all other teams, the captain is just the guy that sort of control the climate in the team, and talking to the referee, and making sure that we're all aligned when we go into the field. But we have, he runs the lineouts, Normally, Jesse runs the defense as well. Sia will have a specific job to break down, which is really tough for us to sort out. Tomorrow, a guy like Ox will run the scrum. So we, on the one hand, obviously because it was a bit of a late replacement and Jesse was doing the build-up anyway, that was the first part. But it's also a nice game for Sia to focus only on a few things and get his game and get over his injury. He's our captain. If he's ready again next week, Sia will be our captain again. It's just this game.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, guys, in South Africa. Good evening to those here in New Zealand. Hands up for questions, please. And then, then we can get cracking. Mike, we'll start with you, and then Nathan, and then Ross.
Evening, Jesse. Evening, Stocker. Jesse, just on a lighter note to start, are you aware that the last time the Springboks won at Eden Park, it was captained by a Maritzburg College old boy and Philip Nell?
A mate of mine that I actually went to school with and a previous headmaster at college actually sent that to me. So, yeah, interesting stat.
My main question just is, if you can just talk us through your preparations in Auckland since you arrived. Obviously, there would have been things you identified from the series against the Wallabies that you wanted to fix. Are you guys satisfied that you've done everything you can to be ready for this massive game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think getting here a few days earlier as a player has been unbelievable. I think getting into the time zone and getting a few extra days to work on recovery and get the body right, and then also extra 2 days on the field has been great. I think we've had an unbelievable week of preparation, one that I've been very happy with, and I think the team as well. And yeah, looking forward to the big game tomorrow.
Pomoy, ciao Isulu, kanye. No, not today.
English. We're in New Zealand.
Okay. Pomoy, uthini ngogqiya enganikwa isikhundla sokhokhela eqela. Kakade yaziyo uba nguye umkhokheli wamabhokobhoko kanye singathi biyintsikelelo emfihlekileyo for yena akhe ajonge umdlalo wakhe angabanalo ixhalo yokhokhela amabhokobhoko.
Is that English or Xhosa?
That's Xhosa. But it would be nice to know one.
Okay, at least he's in a good space now. Nathan, listen, my man, from last week, we knew team here to buy Zabanjani that, and Jesse was appointed as a captain here for the match. Whereas back when also when it comes to JL was supposed to uyadlala lo mdlalo, but uyawonzakala phakathi evekini, yabona. So for the sake of continuity plans zethu, yabona, and indlela uJesse manager ngayo isquad sethu, yabona. So for the past 2 weeks, like never sechilo kuba sifike apha ngolesine last week, and then sas preparation kahle. So besingafuni nje wena udisrupta i-plans zethu, yabona, ngamaxesha okugqibela. We know siyaba umkhokheli wethu for a season, but kodwa ke uJesse kudala senze umsebenzi naye, yabona, akwazi ukhokhela kahle apha kude timini. Into endiyithandayo ngaye kumfana noko ukhokhela ngezenzo, yabona, akathethi kakhulu. Kumfana i-actions zakhe noko uyakwazi uba leader abe phambili ngezenzo. So yeah, I don't think there's much to read on it. nguJesse uzawukhokhela kule ngomso. But once again, siyazi usiyaba ngumkhokheli wethu for a season.
Jan?
Thanks, Zina. Thanks, Slick. Thanks, Jesse. Jesse, my question is for you. We all know about the history. We all know about Eden Park. We all know about the closeness of tests, and every test is important for every player. What makes this test different for you as Jesse Kriel and as a captain?
I think first of all, it's another opportunity to play in a green and gold jersey. I think the magnitude of the game is also something that excites me. I think as a competitor, I think most of the guys will say the same thing. You want to be involved in the biggest of test matches, and this is right up there. You want to test yourself against the best, whether it's in your position or whether it's world rankings or I mean, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the ultimate test, and that's what you get excited for as a player. So I think that's what's in the back of my mind. And then also we know for the rugby championship, this is an extremely important game for us. one that we've been looking forward to for a long time. And yeah, I think tomorrow doesn't get any bigger and any more exciting than this for a player and for people watching.
Thank you very much.
Percy?
Hi, good morning, Zina. Thank you so much. Good day, gentlemen. Coach, can I possibly ask you? I would have asked the captain a question, but I want to ask you, Coach. Tell me something. Usually, as journalists, we get a lot of stats from the likes of Zina and SA Rugby and stats that help us to promote and sell the match. Do you guys, as members of a team, a national team, do you guys look at stats? And the biggest stat that stands out this past week, and every single press conference, whether it's to Rassie Erasmus, whether it's to Jesse Kriel, whether it's to Scott Robinson, is the fact that the Springboks haven't won at this venue in the past, 37 years? Does that matter to you guys?
Yeah, I think us as coaches, probably the stats that we normally focus more on will probably be rugby stats, and then the history about the stadium and how many games they've lost and the last time they've lost. I don't think it's a main focus for us, for once again. I think out of the group of players we've got now, only 3 guys have played there before, so that history doesn't count to us, I'm talking about me personally as a coach, what counts to for me, it's what's going to happen tomorrow, so if you go back to 1930, whatever, I don't think it's got something to do with me. And I know they take a lot of pride when it comes to their history and their legacy they've got in the stadium. But I think for us, the legacy is with the Springbok jersey. We have to make sure that we protect it. We have to make sure that we give ourselves a good chance to make sure that we perform tomorrow. And once again, if you want to win the competition, you have to make sure that you beat the best. And the All Blacks, can't ask for any better team than playing the All Blacks in New Zealand. So yeah, once again, regarding the history about the stadium, I don't think it's got that much impact on us. I think, yeah, the key thing for us is to make sure that we keep representing our country with pride and dignity, and make sure that we keep everything in our powers to make our people back at home proud.
Ross?
Thanks, E. How's it, guys? Jesse, I know that you guys have mentioned before that, captaining the team isn't that massive of a thing when it comes to the fact of how big your leadership group is in the team. But, before the season started, you'd never captained the Boks before. Did you ever imagine that you'd be going into the Eden Park test, captaining them for the 4th time in a 3rd official test? And is that quite a special thing for you? And was it also really special to get that sort of validation from Sia? Even though he came into the team late, he suggested that, you hold on to the captaincy for this game.
Yeah, I think, first of all, it just speaks, it speaks volumes of the kind of leader Sia is. We all know that Sia is our captain and that he is the captain of this team. And it's all of us that kind of help and lead when we need to. And I'm obviously have got that role this weekend, and something that I take massive pride in leading this team and doing my part. But yeah, then again, I've said it many times, there are so many leaders throughout this squad, and I'm not just talking about the 23 guys playing tomorrow. I'm talking about the entire wider group, the coaches. There's leaders in each and every suppose place over there. So yeah, it's a massive privilege. I wouldn't have thought that it would be happening, but then again, it's the most important thing is that I do my job, and that I do what is expected of me as a player, and I think then the rest obviously takes care of itself. So extremely proud, extremely privileged. It's a massive honor. So yeah.
Lita?
Dankie Z. Hi Stokke, hi Jesse. Hope you guys are well. Stokke, for you, please. How important was it? You guys were there more than a week, but how important was it to also not over prepare? If you know what I mean, run the guys into the ground during training and then have nothing left for the Saturday.
No, Leighton, I wouldn't put it that way, that we over prepared. I think one of the key things when we arrived here early was for us to make sure that we acclimatize nicely when it comes to, the time difference. It's something that's crazy, 10-hour different.
So we had to make sure that we get here early. And then one of the main focus things at that time was the recovery with the players. Probably they spent about the first 2 days doing mostly recovery and then some gym work, and then we've only spent 2 days. I think it was on Friday and Saturday only last week. So I wouldn't say we've overworked them, We've got a very, very, very experienced SNC department in Andy and Sebastian, They know very well what needs to be done for the players to be ready for the game. So we trust them. And I don't think I will put it that way that we've overworked them. But once again, I think with the preps that we've got this week, the vibe around in Auckland, everyone is talking about this game. But for us, the key thing was just to make sure that we do the things that needs to be done to make sure that we're ready for this game. It's going to be a massive game, playing All Blacks at home. It's not a joke, and more especially with the occasion, like I said to you, it's a very, very historical venue for them. And also for a guy like Ardie Savea, playing his 100th test match. I know it's going to be a very, very special occasion. And once again, congratulations to him for what he has achieved. And also, he's been a true legend of the game, So congrats to him. And but when it comes to our preps, the key focus for us was to make sure that we keep improving on where we left against Australia. We had a slow start, but once again, if you want to win the competition, you want to be able to beat the best in the world, which is the All Blacks, the #1 team in the world. And we're looking forward to that challenge also.
Sorry, Zina, just one last question, and the least important question to Jesse Kriel. Jesse, please take us into your confidence. Can I kindly ask you, Skipper? This is your. I know you want to make it about the team. I want to ask you a personal question. What do you do before a match? Sir? Do you drink a cup of coffee? Do you dance? Do you sing to yourself? Do you pray, sir? Just maybe give us a bit of insight, sir.
No, I don't have any. I'm not a very superstitious person. I just do what's on the program and what's expected of me, and then I've just obviously got my own way of just leading up to the game. But I'm not a very superstitious person. Believe that the preparation and the hard work that you do throughout the week will get you in a good position to perform on the weekend. So yeah.
No other question? You've got 2 minutes online, guys.
They just maybe a coach Stocker and Jesse Kriel. Coach Stocker, you mentioned Ardie Savea, and maybe Jesse can chip in, who's played a couple of games against him. Just what makes him such a special player and also and a competitor for you guys over the years that you've faced each other.
I think what stands out about him is I think his big moments. I think he has massive moments in games wherever he plays. I mean, I've played against him in Japan, in Super Rugby. I've played against him in Test matches, and I think you'll always see him putting up his hand, making big moments in Test matches. I think he's a guy that works hard, and he's a big figure for them that leads by action. So it's a massive occasion and a big milestone for him, and I think it's an awesome achievement. So
Nathan?
Jesse, on a perspective, you guys have done your captain's run. I mean, how's the mood in camp at the moment, especially for such a game of this magnitude?
Yeah, Nate, as I said earlier on, these are all the games that the guys get extremely excited for. Doesn't get any bigger than this, I suppose, besides in the World Cup. And this is what you train hard for, and you work towards each and every day of your professional career to play in games like this. So the mood's awesome. The guys are excited. We've had a great week of prep, and just looking forward to tomorrow.
Jesse, can I just ask maybe the All Blacks coming off a loss, does that make your job just a little bit harder that they lost in Argentina last week or the week before?
Mike, I think the All Blacks are always a tough team to play against, regardless of whether they won or lost, or won on the weekend. I think they're quality players of the highest class, and I think the rivalry between the Springboks and New Zealand is something that's is unmatched in my opinion, and I think it's as good as it gets. So I don't think the loss will be any difference, and I think they'll be motivated just as much as they would have been if they had won. So I think it'll be a great game.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That concludes the online section. I'll send out the recording in a little bit. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Behind the screen to our right there, behind the window, a lot of the media there, print media and newspapers, and also the people that control the stadium lighting. So for cricket, it's the scoreboard and sight splitting and stadium lights, and for rugby, the scoreboard and stadium lights is controlled from here. I'm on the corner. So that's where the ball landed. But do we see the next block over a blue seat? Yeah. Do we see that? So that's quite a sad story.